The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests
What is going on, my Ghost Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 271. Today's date is Tuesday, December 13th, 2022. If you're out there in the live chat, go ahead and say something. We don't know that you're out there unless you do. We're always streaming on YouTube. We used to stream on Facebook till they kicked us out, so no longer doing that. So if you're on the YouTube side, you are the only one seeing this live. We will obviously take the audio, and this will be pushed out to all of our podcast platforms tomorrow. If you want to call or text in, yes, you can call or text in. Utilize the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends Rod Chili Gates and Aegis Gun Care. That phone number is 530-364-4678. Go check out Aegis over at aegisguncare.com. If you're a veteran, really anybody, but especially if you're a veteran and you're in that hole, you're in the darkness, and you're looking for that light, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I cannot give you medical advice, but I could probably be a pretty decent ear to listen and talk you through some stuff. If you are looking for someone that can get you towards some medical attention, remember two things. One, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers out here that are willing and able to help you in any way possible. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please, I implore, utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255, the Veteran Crisis Hotline. As always, we're going to spotlight the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title United States Marine, see the websites marines.com. And we are a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network. Go check out all of your favorite pro-gun, pro-2A podcasts over at selfdefenseradio.net. And let me get this off of my ugly mug and bring in the criminals that will be joining us tonight. The man from the state that it takes two people to spell out from the, I guess it's an okay state of Ohio. I don't know. Chris from the 7-4. What's up, homie?
Not much, man. Thank you for the invite. Glad to be here. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. And the soulless ginger bastard we got from the cool ass state from Arizona. I don't know if it's a great state or not. I'll ask John. He'll tell us. But from True Shot Gun Club. What's up, John?
What's up, buddy? Been a long time no see.
Well, you know, like I used to send you links and you never showed up. So I just figured, all right, well, fuck it. He doesn't want to come on the show. So I'll just quit sending him links. And then, so like last week, I guess Clover's talking to you and you mentioned something about the show. And he was like, well, John was asking about it. I was like, well, fuck him, dude. I quit sending him links. He never did come on. So I think you got told fuck off by both of us in the same day. That's special. Like that rarely happens to people. You're lucky.
It's like finding a 4-leaf clover, you know.
I mean, oh, don't you go there. You go there.
I went there. No, see what happened was at the former company, I was like, oh yeah, Trey, like I'm all in for this. Let's go. And then they're like, no, you can't do that. So then I was like, all right, cool. I'll let Trey know. And then
like you guys actually start building at the old company like a podcast studio, did you not?
Yeah, we did. And I was gonna just do it from home. And they were like, no, on my own time. I was like, I'm just going to do this on my own time. And they're like, no. So then I hopped on Clover's podcast. And then I was like, I haven't heard from Trey in a while. I need to get on his thing. So here I am.
Yeah. You know, hey, you're always welcome. I'll just put you on the list again. And if you utilize the link, at this point, I won't take you out of the list. So if you utilize it, great. If not, hey, I get it. But no, it's good to see you, bro. And I'll see you hopefully a month from now, almost exactly a month. We fly in on the 14th. I don't know what day you get there, but we fly in on the 14th and in Vegas. So we'll definitely hook up then for sure.
We should be there that Monday, whatever that Monday is. So we'll be there.
For Rings Day?
Yeah, we're driving up. We actually got media badges this year, so we'll see if we're invited.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was
that makes sense actually for you, especially for you guys.
Yeah, and for me it was like, hey, I never get invited to range day. I want to go and go show off some stuff. So we got that going, and it's gonna be different. It's gonna be a cool show this year. We'll see how unpacked or packed it is gonna be. We'll see.
I think it's definitely going to be busier than last year. Unfortunately, I love the way it was. Or I guess it's technically still this year in 2022. I love the last SHOT Show, but it'll be a lot busier now. I saw something on Instagram that they said all the exhibitor space is sold out. So, and I guess that's a good sign, for NSSF that they sold out. So, we'll see. Hey, speaking of SHOT, a buddy of ours, I'm sure you know TJ from over at Gear Report. He's buddies with me and Clove. I gave him your number a while back. I don't hope you didn't mind that, but he was trying to get into the basketball game. He still plays in the old man's league, and he's a college. I don't know if he got a hold of you or not, but he was wanting to figure out how to get into the basketball game. So be on the lookout.
He did. He got a hold of me. I could put him in contact with Mario.
Okay.
For those out there who don't know, there's a basketball game at SHOT.
Yeah.
I played last year and fractured my tibia. and then walked.
And you're still young, dude. Just saying.
And then I walked the floor Friday.
Fantastic.
And no, it's a fun time.
I got invited to the golf tournament this year, but I did not want to take my clubs out to Vegas. That's just another thing to worry about. I was like, I'm not. I'm good.
Well, they're adding something this year.
To the golf tournament or basketball?
To the basketball.
Oh, are they?
So it's not confirmed yet, but from my understanding, talking to Mario and Kenny's got a great project for those of you who don't know of Kenny's project. They're adding a dodgeball game. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, that could be fun. So here's a little background on TJ, college high jumper. He's like 6'4". He can play. But he also still to this day plays competitive kickball. So if you can play kickball and you can dodge a wrench, you could probably play dodgeball. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. So yeah, we'll have some fun in this for this fiasco. But yeah, it's good seeing you again, bro. I don't know, John and Chase. I don't know. I'm sure you guys know each other, but from EAA, the vice president of shit shooting. What's up, Chase? How you doing?
What's up, y'all? Doing all right.
Chase, do you know John? Or John's over at True Shot Gun Club. Do you guys know each other?
Did we? I think we talked to NRA, didn't we?
Okay.
Yeah, it was NRA or SHOT. NRA or SHOT.
You guys both have the same personalities. You guys will probably get along. So
you're trying to say we're both like assholes?
So, have you been doing anything today, Chase? Or you just been kind of being bored and sitting on your butt all day?
I was under.
There must be some lag with Chase. I don't know.
I was under about 9 miles of ATF paperwork today.
Better you than me.
Yes, that's what I got to do on top of all my normal stuff.
Yay. All right, we'll have some fun. Get your mind off that. From the great state of Texas, guy that always, he's basically our quasi co-host at this time and always riding shotgun. The tactical virus, leprechaun. What's up, bitch?
Yeah, I had a 9-hour conference call with the ATF today, so I had to be a good little informant. And
you had a 9-hour conference call with G-Webs today. Let's be honest.
Wow, this is true.
All right. So, what's the shotgun of the week, Holmes?
I was talking earlier with somebody. We were talking about Terminator. And man, how can you go wrong with the Winchester 1887, right, from T2?
Is that the one that he was messing with on the back of the motorcycle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Took it from the bartender or whatever, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're talking shotgun, so I'm kind of getting a little bit of a rash, but luckily I'm okay.
You'll live.
he starts talking about all these model numbers and all that. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, exactly. No, I have no shit clue what the damn shotguns are. So,
well, it could be. It could
what,
be
what was the model number again?
1887 Winchester.
Okay, all right.
It could be. It could be like Marine Corps military acronyms: the PX, the RX, the WMD, PC, WQ, RSF, BIG, whatever. I have no clue. So you lose me on that. So turnabout's fair play. That's all I got to say.
The sad thing is being dumb Marines, we do the acronyms to make it easier for us to remember, but yet you find it difficult. What does that say?
I don't know how y'all remember all that. I really don't.
Just saying. I'm just saying. We're the ones that eat crayons and need abbreviations to call stuff, but you're the one who can't figure them out.
I did not start that.
It wasn't a thing when I got it, and it was a crayon thing started not too long ago. It was well before I got it, after I got in. Anyways, let's say hey to everybody out there before we go and do our fun times with the polls. Buck, the tactical FUD out there, he and I were going back. He lives about 45 minutes from me. It's been raining, literally cats and dogs. So I started building an ark earlier today. Unfortunately, got washed out, so didn't get quite finished with it. But it is what it is. Chris is out there working double duty. Wes is out there from Oklahoma. Big Al's up there. He says, after the naders went through, I got crap for internet. There you go. I understand. We didn't have any tornadoes around here. Maybe South Arkansas we had some. But Clover, did you have any going through there? I know it was maybe a county or two away, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know. And it's weird because it happens a lot when, I've been expecting this weather, that for several days. Potentially was going to be bad. And the last couple of times we've been lucky, but we kind of sit back against under a I don't want to say a mountain, but a hill, right? Basically. So I think what happens is that hill.
Did you say hill or heel? Like a heel of the foot or a hill of a mountain?
Like a HILL.
Okay, I gotta decipher Clover speak here. So
right. And so
that's
anyway,
not for me. That's for the podcast world out there. They may not understand what the hell you're saying.
I think sometimes we get lucky when it comes across just right and it kind of splits it. But then when it comes back together, it's bad because the last two times it's done that, it's basically formed rotation and everything about 20 miles, a little bit northeast of here. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad y'all are safe right now. Chicago, Mike the Shooter's out there. So what's up? What's up? Marcus is out there. What's going on? R4 Mississippi Thunder. What in the Mississippi fuck? That's one of my best favorite sayings. I love that saying. I think I said that to Chase not too long ago, and he kind of laughed at it. Chris Lang's out there. Roy Munson's out there. What's going on, Roy? Chicago, I want to say, hey, Mike, Clover's already got a big enough ego. He doesn't need you filling his head up with false advertising. But he does say that G Webs and Clover had a great conversation and given out outstanding info and shot with the media equipment, etc. I wish I could have had the time to go. Next year, bro, I'm going to, here it is. Just go. You know when it is. It's going to be that third week, whatever it is, of January every year. They already have the 2024 dates up. Like, put in for vacation now. Start saving your money. Save $10 a month or whatever you got to do, or $100 a month, and save whatever you got to do for you to make sure you get your flight and a hotel or whatever you're staying. $100 a month. Like, it's not one of those things I wish I could go or want to go. Just say, I'm going, and I'm going to start making the plan. So do it to it, man. We wish you would come this year, but I understand. Let's see here. Snobs out there. Well. Okay, well, it is what it is with him. All right, you guys know that every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday at 10 a.m. on our YouTube community tab, we put our Ghost Tactical polls out there. We have a little fun with a couple of them. We always ask some kind of a gun thing, but two of them we have fun with. So let's go through them real quick. Last Thursday, it's got over 1,000 votes. Do you own an ugly Christmas sweater? It's either yes, no, or my wife is looking and I refuse to incriminate myself. Let's start with Chris. Ugly sweater, yay, nay?
No.
Clover, yay, nay? Ugly Christmas sweater.
I don't want a sweater at all. So there you go.
All right. I hear you. Chase probably doesn't either. He lives in Arizona. I mean, he lives in Florida. You probably don't even own a sweater, do you?
I mean, just for joke purposes, yeah, I do have them.
I bet you got some good ones, honestly.
And I may have a Slayer one. I may have a Darth Vader one. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
The definitely not Christmas sweaters.
Yeah, they're ugly, just not ugly Christmas sweaters. I hear you.
Oh, I mean, they're for Christmas, but
I mean, let's be honest. Every sweater that let's just be honest. Every sweater that Chase puts on is an ugly sweater. So that's what it is. Now, John, do you still have? You probably don't need them out in Arizona, but do you still have them when you were in Ohio and probably had to wear some back then?
I do have a ugly Christmas sweater, but I have multiple ugly Christmas sweater T-shirts.
Oh, T-shirt, even better. Kind of like the tuxedo T-shirt with their ugly Christmas sweater T-shirts. Oh, classy. Yeah, we've got a friend of ours that has like an ugly Christmas sweater party every year, and you can only imagine. So, yeah. All right, we'll come back to this, Marcus. So I'm going to start, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. He says, if we can ask anything tonight, if I ask if any of you guys have any pull with YouTube advertising, to please get them to stop advertising the bearskin hoodie. I'm done with it. It's everywhere. You can
click little things on ads to tell them.
Yeah, you can tell them whether like you don't like this or like you can like if you see what you do like, you can say, hey, I want to see more of this and all of that.
I'm tired of the weed, cannabis, whatever gummies.
I have no problem with that.
Oh my God. Well, no. I have no problem with the ads at all because we make a little bit of money. We make a little bit of money off of it.
A little bit of money.
Right. So yeah, ultimately I have no problem at all. But you do get tired after you've watched, I don't know, 10 videos in a row, and every one of them starts with, "Hey man, I got some great cannabis here that's legal in all 50 states." I'm like, oh my God, please.
If you have any questions on weed, you can always call Tack Daddy. He seems to be like the weed connoisseur now. All of a sudden, like I guess the comedian thing went bad for him. Apparently, he's doing like weed artwork now.
NFTs, weed NFTs.
Is that what he's doing?
I don't know how you do.
Didn't look that much into it.
I don't know how that works, but
hey, good for him.
Yeah,
he's got to be relevant somewhere. All right. Over 1,000 votes, 74% of you said that you do not own an ugly Christmas sweater. 21% say that you do, and 4% were telling the truth and said you refuse to incriminate yourself. So that's fair. Our next poll came out yesterday, and it's already got over 1,000 votes. Of these, I love when I say of these because I get just hate in the comments. It's like, bro, like I choose this. Well, that's not on the damn list. That's why I put of these. Like, I'm not asking you what your favorite cookie is ever. I'm saying of these, which one's your favorite cookie? Well, my favorite's not on the list. Then don't vote. It is what it is. Of these, what is your favorite Christmas cookie? Gingerbread, sugar cookie, chocolate chip, a snickerdoodle, or the butter pecan. We'll start with John on this one. Favorite Christmas cookie?
Gotta go with the snickerdoodle.
Oh, good call, my man. Snickerdoodles are awesome. You know, the funny thing is like I always grew up loving them, but I had no idea what they were called until about 10 years ago. I was like, oh, that's my favorite, but I never knew it was called. Yeah, snickerdoodles, that and sugar cookies by far, but yeah, snickerdoodles are really good. Chase, what the hell did you change your avatar? What is that?
It's Christmas, man. It's a mistletoe.
Oh, jeez. Mistletoe. Jeez. Wow.
That's what I thought it was, but I'm like, I'm not saying anything. I kept staring at it.
Oh, my goodness gracious. So what's your favorite Christmas cookie, Chase?
I mean, I'm not a huge cookie fan, honestly, but Christmas time, like homemade sugar cookies, like when they're fucking hot, that's where it's at.
Oh, yeah, they're the shit. The Okie from Muskogee, from Chelsea, but we'll call him that. How's Bristol, Snob? Is he doing better?
Good.
Is he getting feeling back in the leg?
No, not really. Still been a
Oh,
big baby.
Okay. Well, is his spirits at least up?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Good. Favorite Christmas cookie, bro?
I mean, if it's a Christmas cookie, it has to be gingerbread, but that's because the other ones aren't. I don't know. I just have to go gingerbread. That's what I had to vote for.
Hey, I hear you. Hey, there's
it's
not a
Christmassy.
wrong answer. There's only two right answers. Then there's no wrong, just only two right. I would have taken sugar or snickerdoodle. Not saying the other ones are wrong. Just
Well, I
saying.
mean,
Snickerdoodle is nothing but a sugar cookie.
The
with
Russian judge
is-
appreciates gingerbread. Just saying.
Is gingerbread actually a cookie? It's got bread right in the name.
Shut the hell up. Seriously, shut the hell up. Like, no one needs you, Mr. Know-It-All, coming in here. Like, he's going to sit there and say, well, I thought gingerbread was used to make houses.
That's right.
Okay. All right. No, gingerbread, I've never been a huge gingerbread guy. I don't know why. Maybe I just never had like fresh gingerbread. Most time it's the really hard kind of store-bought stuff. It's not very good, but I like the smell of gingerbread. So maybe I like a fresh gingerbread cookie. I don't know. Clove, do we care what your favorite cookie is?
Nope.
No. All right. Well, so what is it?
Snickerdoodle. I go Snickerdoodle on that.
Oh, you're getting better in my book. All right.
Yeah.
Well done. Speaking of wheat, Ohio over there. What's your favorite cookie?
I was one of the only weirdos I think that went with gingerbread. I like gingerbread. I think it's just because that's the only time of year I ever get them is at Christmas.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. Like, I'd get it for a Christmas cookie. That's fair. Like, these were like when I did the poll, I looked up online. Like, what are the top, like, what do they call it? Popular cookies for Christmas, and these were the 5. And I get it. For a 30-day span, I could see where gingerbread would be a thing.
Yeah, if you're not saying Christmas cookies, I'm going snickerdoodle or sugar cookie all day. But when you say Christmas cookies, I got to go gingerbread.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Like, would you eat a gingerbread cookie in May?
I guess if I saw one, it's not like you just get gingerbread cookies in May normally.
Yeah.
I'm fat. I'll eat anything. What are you talking about?
The oatmeal raisin. Interesting.
So, what's the difference between?
No, that Tommy can get out.
What's the difference, Ginger? What's the difference between?
Are you want me to ask Ginger what's up with gingerbread? That's kind of. I'm just saying that's profiling. I'm not gonna. I will try to avoid that.
I feel like that's profiling. That's 100% profiling.
100%. 100% it is.
He's throwing me off.
The red
Hang on, I gotta get further. Okay, I gotta get further away from him there. He's throwing me off. Okay. So, no, what I was gonna say is, what's the difference between gingerbread, a gingerbread cookie, and a ginger snap?
It's got to be it's shortbread versus something else. It's like a shortbread cookie versus whatever a snap is.
And if you're not dipping a ginger snap in milk, you're breaking your teeth.
I guess I've never had ginger snap. I don't know.
I was just asking. I don't know the answer to that. That's why I was asking.
That's because we're from the South Coast and we don't care about that crap.
I guess, yeah. I mean, give me a sugar cookie every day or a snickerdoodle every day. I could eat those year round, by the way. But
let the record reflect. I asked about gingerbread, and the ginger answer was the first to answer the question.
I think you directed that to Ginger, and like I said, I agree. If that's definitely profiling, the views and opinions of the guests on the show do not necessarily reflect.
What are the blue tin cookies
with Jim Beam in it? Hey, anything with Jim Beam in it that would be interesting.
Are those only for Christmas? The blue tin cookies, what are those? Can someone answer? Those are crispy.
Aren't they like Danish or something?
Small ones?
The ones that come in the blue tin, and then you go to get it later, and
they're butter
everybody's
cookies.
got sewing.
Yeah, butter.
Your butter
cookies.
Butter cookies. Phenomenal. Yeah. Hey, have y'all ever had the no bake cookies?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
They're pretty damn good. They're pretty damn good. My wife made some a couple of years ago. I was like, oh, these aren't bad. There's another one that my wife makes. We got from a recipe from a friend of ours, and it's got like potato chips in it, and like, oh, dude, don't frown. Hey, Yoko. Hey, what's the cookie called with potato chips in it?
Better be better than a Tootsie Roll.
Hey, you stop. That's so messed up. We're not going to go down that road. We're not even going to try to go down that road.
That's an inside joke, but we're not going to tell you inside what.
Inside, literally and figuratively. Over 1,000 votes. 43% of you said that something that no one even mentioned, but chocolate chip. Chocolate chip was 43% of the vote. In second place, tied for second place, the right ones are sugar and snickerdoodle. Gingerbread was at 10% and butter pecan was at 6%. Now, I would get it if they said, hey, what's your favorite cookie? Like, in general, I know that chocolate chip would be up there, but I don't think of chocolate chip cookies for Christmas. That's just not what I think of. But potato cakes, I don't think they're called potato cakes, are they? I don't know. It's really damn good. It's like, oh man, it's so good. I don't know. And our final poll question, 1.5 thousand votes. What are you most wanting for Christmas? Guns, ammo, optics, or peace and quiet? Let's start with Chase on this one. Guns, ammo, optics, or peace and quiet?
I mean, can I be like a kid and combine them? Because I want some ammo and peace and quiet.
We can do that, and we may know somewhere we can get ammo. I'm just saying. John, I'm assuming that you're probably not going to say ammo because you can get that probably anytime you want. What would you choose? Guns, ammo, optics, or peace and quiet?
Well, see, I would have to say ammo just because I got to do a plug, but
Absolutely, you do.
I have to. But I actually got my Christmas present yesterday, and I've been wanting one for years because I've been wanting to rebuild the Christmas story in my front window. So I got the Christmas
Either
story.
got the leg lamp or the BB gun.
I got the Christmas Wish BB gun yesterday from Walmart because leg lamps are just ridiculously expensive.
Are they really?
Oh, it's like $300 for a leg lamp.
It's pretty easy to make.
That one movie made the industry for leg lamps. I'm just saying.
Dude, I went to the house last year at Christmas because we went back to Cleveland to go see my parents, and they wanted like $300 plus another $150 to ship it.
Wow.
Clover says it's pretty easy to make a leg lamp. Does everybody just have a mannequin leg laying around they can make one out of?
You could do it out of styrofoam, man. You can do a base out of styrofoam. It's pretty easy to get a Goodwill lampshade and some fabric, and you're good to go. A lamp.
The light won't shine through the styrofoam, dumbass.
It goes to the top, and the shade goes on it. What are you talking about?
The leg lights up, homie.
If you paint it, if you plaster it, you can't. Like, you have to seal the styrofoam. If you do it the right color, the light will throw off of it. It'll look like it's glowing.
Half the reason you get it is for the box that says Fragile. Come on.
That's true.
Fragile. Ooh, it's Italian or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question. Have y'all seen the new one? I haven't seen the new one, but apparently it's okay. Have y'all seen the newest one?
It is.
It's amazing.
Pretty decent.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. I got to go watch it.
You have to watch it.
Hey, I don't even want to know, but G says he's got a guy for cheap mannequin parts. Let me know what you need.
Yeah.
I don't judge, G. Now, Roy, I think you're right, Roy. Roy says, I don't think Clover understands the science. So, hey, Clover has never claimed to be a scientist. Let's be fair to him. But yeah,
I'm not very artistic. I don't know if I can carve a leg out of styrofoam. And it
won't look like a leg, but I could sure try. It'd look like something. It probably wouldn't look like a leg.
So long as I'm
Clover's about to start whittling a leg in our booth. Is what I'm saying.
Well, so as long as I'm using in some way, shape, form, or fashion, baling wire and or duct tape, I'm good. And I said,
sure.
I said DUCK. I did say that.
Yeah. By the way, Chase, I think that we need to commission a leg lamp and only allow Paul and Clover to work on it.
Oh, that would be
Just
the most
Now I bet you.
terrible shit
Now I
you've
bet you
ever seen.
Paul can carve a leg. Now I bet he can do it.
I mean, fit his room.
Hey, I know what's in never mind.
Yeah,
Never
he's
mind.
got a very special place in the
He does have a very special
Now
place.
defense that so you could 3D print the leg, but as tall as that leg is, it'd have to be quite a few parts.
It's actually the normal size. Like, it just looks tall to you. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
says Ghost.
I just want y'all to know.
Hey, that inch taller than you is everything.
Even though Clover bashes Oklahoma, we do have the world's largest leg lamp in Oklahoma.
How tall? I gotta ask.
I don't know. I'm Googling it.
Okay. All right. While you do that, I'm gonna go to Chris real quick. Guns, ammo, optics. Peace and quiet.
Peace and quiet.
No shit, right?
That's like the only day of the year owning a plumbing company that people actually leave me alone. So I like the peace and quiet.
Yeah, but the next day after is probably pretty bad, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Because everyone's at houses and it gets clogged up. Oh, I can.
The whole Brown Friday.
Yeah. Snob, what about you? Guns, ammo, or
Peace and quiet.
Piece of, oh my God, that is glorious.
Oh,
and
snap.
they've got the fragile box. Yes, they do.
It's 50 feet tall.
That is beautiful. Hey, zoom in, can you? A little bit?
Oh, maybe if I go over there and figure out how.
I don't know.
Sounds like Florida man needs to get on this.
Florida man would be put in jail with this. He'd probably have to harass that thing. He'd get arrested for sexual harassment of a lamp. That's pretty awesome. Though. Where is that, by the way, Snob?
It's in Chickasha, down between Oklahoma City and Lawton, kind of.
Well, that makes sense to me. I have no idea. South? Are you talking about south of Oklahoma City?
Southwest of Oklahoma City, just southwest.
There you go. There you go. Fantastic. There you go. The leg lamp. So, now, did you say would you rather have guns, ammo?
Peace and quiet. I have kids.
Peace and quiet. Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. Clove. I know what Armentia wants, but probably not going to get it.
Yeah, peace and quiet, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can I want for everybody else to get what they want? Can I just go that route? Because
you're such a kiss ass, dude.
No,
yeah, right. Like, that's the most bah humbug answer I've ever heard in my life.
It's not. It's more Christmassy than anything. Like it's not about what you want. Come on, man.
I asked the question, what do you want? Because here's the thing: if your family's kind of like anything like mine, like first of all, I usually don't ask for anything because I don't. There's nothing that I really need in life. On top of that, even if I did ask for something specific, they wouldn't get it for me.
Yeah.
So here's what it is.
Okay,
that's why this is what do you most want for Christmas?
Oh, wow. Okay. So peace and quiet's out because I want to go see a movie, and that's never going to be peace and quiet doing that. I don't know. What was the third? It was the third choice. It was guns,
optics.
ammo. Optics. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, I could go ammo. I could probably use some 10 millimeter. I could probably use some 22.
Well, I know a guy. John, would you like to help our student? Right. No, seriously. For those of you who just came in, the last time John was with us, I think you were working for the other company, if I'm not mistaken. You might have been. I don't think you have though. John was with True Shot Gun Club out in Arizona, one of the best places in the world to get ammo. We were talking several months ago. The place, and he was like, I remember when like ammo was scarce, and like you said, yeah, but if anyone needs shotgun shells, like you had a warehouse full of shotgun shells at one point. I'm assuming you got rid of some of that.
I still have half a warehouse full of shotgun shells.
Oh my God.
I mean, so Black Friday, and I guess this is a humble flex. We got in 1.5 million rounds of 9mm. It was sold out in 2 days.
I'd imagine so. And here's the thing. that sounds like a lot of ammo. But when you're talking about a nationwide / worldwide distributor, 1.5 million rounds of 9mm is not a whole lot in the big grand scheme of things. Like for the individual, that's a hell of a lot. But for a company that, ships everywhere, that's probably, how much, like, what's the biggest 9mm?
That's only 30,000 boxes. If you're talking boxes at 50, it's only 30,000 boxes. Yeah.
So like when you guys have put in an order for ammo, what's the largest like 9mm order you put in? If you can say, I don't know if you're allowed to say that or not.
No, I can say last year when I started with the company in August, we had 15 million rounds of Blazer Brass. It took us until sometime in January to get rid of all of it. So
15 million.
Oh, it was insane. It was just like aisles full of it. You were tripping over it everywhere you went. So, I mean, right now, I think in our warehouse, we're a little light on 9 because it's popular. It sells
God's
out.
caliber. It's God's caliber. Yeah.
But right now, I think we're got it anywhere between 30 and 40 million rounds of ammo in the warehouse right now. And then like the coolest flex I had at one point, not the 15 million rounds is cool, but having like 40,000 rounds of 50 BMG in giant crates, that was a flex.
I'm sorry. Why?
You see, what had happened was
you sell a bunch of it. I mean, honestly, I can't imagine BMG being a bunch of cells there, is it?
Oh no, we've gone through all 3 crates full of 50 BMG, and it's just because Arizona's got open space.
People go and shoot. Yeah.
People go and shoot. So we had a ton of 50 BMG. It was really cool because it was just this giant crate, and I wanted to spill it on the floor and do 50 Angels, but then I'd have to clean up a bunch of 50 BMG off the floor.
But if you're going to clean up, that's kind of cool to clean up, though. I'm just saying.
No, but yeah.
Buck wants to know if you do primers, because that's seriously an issue right now, especially large rifle primers. You guys don't have any primers, do you?
I can't say.
Okay, fair enough.
I can't say. Maybe. Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. Somebody accidentally shipped us like 30 million primers. So
really?
So we're trying to figure out legally if we can. So I can't say because you need a whole separate license.
Well, it's like when you. I was going to say, like when you start doing SKUs of primers, is that a separate license than ammo? Obviously, it is.
It's so dumb. Okay, I'm gonna bitch for a moment.
Hey, floor is yours.
Brass, I can ship. Projectiles, I can ship. Primered brass, I can ship. Primers, whole separate license. So everything put together can ship. It's fine.
It's that hazmat.
It's the hazmat for the primers.
Yeah.
It's so weird that the primer itself has to be the hazmat part of that whole thing, but everything put together is okay.
Yeah, and the worst thing now is like the last when I bought the last 5,000 I bought, now you have to be home when the FedEx driver shows up.
Probably
you have to show him an ID.
What?
And you have to sign this thing on his tablet. So it's not like it used to be. I could just write a note, sign it, put it on the door, like leave my primers right here. Not anymore. Anything with a hazmat now has to have a driver's license and a signature, and you got to be home. So,
and it's a whole separate storage nightmare too for us. We've got to have special areas in the warehouse to store it. So we've stayed away from it because it's really just it hasn't been there, the production and everything. But right now it's like, okay, well, what do we do with these? And trying to figure that out. So we're working with who shipped it to us. I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to throw them under the bus.
Well, I think if you cut Buck a really good enough deal, he'd probably drive to Arizona, buy all of them, just take them to Arkansas, and you want.
Well, he did say he would take 29 million, but he's not greedy. So.
That's what I'm saying. Just sell them all to Buck. There's no hazmat fee. He drives to Arizona, picks them up, and drives them back to Arkansas. Right?
Matter of fact,
done deal.
Matter of fact, you'll be going through Arizona here in a few weeks. Just saying.
This is true.
You got room for 30 million primers in the back of the
Could pull a Smokey and the Bandit with primers.
I mean, hey, it's already a Cannonball Run. Let's go ahead and add Smokey and the Bandit to it.
Just
You
don't
ain't
get
Burt
stopped.
Reynolds.
Watch out for highway. We'll get you.
You ain't seen me. You ain't seen me on the interstate in that Kia. Ghost has. Don't knock the Kia, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Kia's surprising. It's surprisingly quick. I'm not gonna lie. Only when he goes in sport mode. That's a knock on.
This is true.
That's a knock on Armentia. She doesn't believe in sport mode.
But there is truth to that.
Yeah, no, I get it. Marcus says I could use some 50 BMG, but not at $5 a round. I could also use 410 shot shells and 20 gauge. Those two shot shells have been non-existing by me, especially 410. So you have 410 or 20 gauge?
20 gauge, we just sold out. 410 has been a 7-month delay waiting on them to come in. We were supposed to get them last week. It's not here yet. It's getting imported. The biggest thing is, and many people don't know, that a big corporation bought 2 of the shotgun manufacturers, or shotgun ammo manufacturers.
Yep.
And it kind of put a halt because they had to do inventory. Because when you acquisition a company, you have to inventory all the product to see,
And everything's got to shut down until that's done, by the way.
And that was about a 2-month shutdown. So, unfortunately, one is out of Brazil, the other one is out of Spain or Italy. So, they kind of shut it down on that one for a little bit.
So, hopefully, maybe in the next first quarter of 2023, you're looking maybe.
I'm hoping to have them in the next 2 weeks. So,
okay.
Crossed. So hopefully, I would love to get I get at least 20 phone calls a day and questions and stuff like that about just 410. So I just got 16 gauge in. If anybody's looking for 16, I got 16
gauge. Yeah. I'm sorry, Chloe. I didn't mean to give the answer to one of your quizzes. Just absolutely spoiled that, didn't I? My bad.
What did I do? What?
Oh, he said he got some 16 gauge, and it said, "Oh, the gentleman's gauge." And I realized that's
an old quiz.
I didn't mean to ruin the quiz.
It's an old quiz by now. It's all good.
Okay. By the way, I did put the link out there to True Shot Gun Club. Yeah, they've got. If it's in stock, it's going to be very, very difficult to beat their prices, and plus show John some love. And I tell you what, we had a phone call. You and I were talking on the phone when you first moved over there about the plans over the next few years of what he's wanting to do. You know what? Hell, let's just take a few minutes. We really don't have anything going on except people asking questions. So if you want to take a few minutes and tell people maybe the history about True Shot, what the goals are and all of that, hey, take some time and do that for sure. Yeah.
So True Shot started in 2016 in the owner's garage. We literally sold everything and anything we could get our hands on. So, we were doing guns, ammo, things like that. In 2019, the company shifted to ammo, which was a good time to shift to ammo. And because the owner and his father come from the oil and gas industry. So oil and gas is a commodity. Ammo is a commodity. As much as people don't believe it, it's just pounds of lead, pounds of brass. So we shifted to that. We in 2020, we took off. We went from a 2,000 square foot facility up to a 10,000 square foot facility in 2021. We're recognized by the Inc. 5000 as one of the fastest growing companies in the nation. So we really have grown. There's big plans for us. We've worked really hard over the last year with, making sure that we have product in stock, working some on the marketing end, working partnership deals and talking to folks like you guys and kind of getting the word out there. The big struggle we had in 2020, 2021 was, all these fly-by-night ammo companies popped up. And to kind of legitimize, make the company legit and kind of show like, hey, we are who we are and we are, a legit company. And We've revamped the website, we've revamped our social media, we've grown exponentially as a company. So we're hoping for big things here in 2022, 2023. So it's been great. It's fun. I get to do some cool things that I would probably never have done. The big thing that it's funny because, you guys know me when I was at the old company. The big thing that I got to do this year, which was really exciting for me, was, reviewing guns is fun. That's what it is, what it is. And I really do enjoying that and doing ammo reviews and stuff like that. But this year, as of December 6th, I was in Ballistics Best and helping them out with that. So that was something that I really got to do. And that was a cool experience for itself because, Ballistics Best is what some people judge things by. And it was cool to kind of be part of that and working with a lot of my friends in the industry to be able to do that.
And you've also been doing a bunch of writing, not just doing social media reviews and all that, but you've been doing blogs and all that stuff for a while. So have you enjoyed the writing side of stuff or what?
Yeah, I've gotten to spread my, legs a little bit and get into some writing and did some things. I wrote a couple blog posts for our website and done that here and there. And, it's been a fun ride so far to kind of be able to do what I've been able to do and things that I wanted to do in the past that, couldn't do. And now I can do it and kind of have fun with it and, come out and talk about new products coming out or talk about, things and being able to voice my opinion on something where it's like in the past, I was just like, yeah, I worked for this company and we did this and that's it. And being ammo is really great because we're very complimentary to everybody. And, you
can talk about whatever guns you want. I mean, you're not tied to anything.
Right. I can talk about guns. I can talk about ammo. It's really, we're shifting a little bit of focus away from guns for a little bit. We're going to do more ammo reviews, more topics that are, 9 versus 5.5 or 5.56 versus 2.23 and difference in grain weight and 9 and kind of trying to expand.
You mean that there's a difference? Surely you jest. Yeah. No. For those that are out there that haven't gone to the website out there, I want to go ahead and put that link out there again. Please go check out True Shot Gun Club. These are brands, like they're not like Reloads, they're not like True Shot Gun Club branded ammo. These are like the brands that they just happen to get them in for, I don't know if that's kind of the idea, is to just maybe make less margin and just try to sell more or whatever the business model is. But you're usually a good percentage cheaper than most other websites with the same stuff. But yeah, it's not necessarily True Shot Gun Club branded stuff. If you're looking for specific brands, Normas and all of those, they've got that. So I don't know if people are maybe are if you're out there. Marcus says he's on the website right now. So he asked he was real quick. This is Ask Us Any Question. He says, any idea when the Lake City 50 B&G ammo is going to be back in stock?
That I don't know, because that was like that big crate of ammo I was talking about was that Lake City stuff. So Lake City is a little hard right now because Lake City's owned by Winchester, or not owned by Winchester. Winchester's running the facility. So it switched hands. It was Federal, now it's Winchester. They won the contract. So it's a little hard to get some Lake City stuff in. I mean, we really expand the variety of what we have. So, we've got we've got the Normals, we've got the PMCs. The one, if you're looking for a 9mm, the one that was really surprising was DRZ. DRZ is out of Turkey. It was designed and made in Las Vegas. The actual name is everybody calls it DRZ because it's actually called Dr. Z because the owner's son was going to be a doctor and his name I believe is Zach. So we've run like thousands and thousands of that when we were testing. It's one of our go-to test ammos, and that I really like. We work really hard with our vendors to be very competitive, getting in a bunch of stuff. We're trying to be the lowest price in the country. We also offer our A-Zone program, which is our free shipping program. It's $99 a year. You get unlimited free shipping for the year on orders up to $1,500. Yep. So the only reason why we put a $1,500 limit is we don't we can't ship a pallet of ammo. Sorry, it's too expensive, man. But
you could. I mean,
you could, but it's one of those things where, like, it's hard. But we did that. We've opened a wholesale. So if there's any dealers in here, we have opened a wholesale side of our company as well. If you're looking for, as a dealer, we're looking for pricing on that. But yeah, it's been it's different because we're complementary. Like, the people I've been able to work with, like at the old company, I would have never been able to talk to Taurus, or I would never been able to talk to FN, or, I work really closely with Springfield and those guys. I love those guys over there. And, being able to work really closely with a lot of these companies has really afforded me the ability to, branch out and talk to people that I would have never talked to or even thought to talk to.
So, like, take 9mm out, because I'm pretty sure that's probably what you guys sell the most, because that's probably what everyone does. Take 9 out, like this year specifically. Do you know what caliber has really kind of maybe, I'm going to say, sold the most besides 9, but is there a caliber that's kind of surprised? Like, where did this come from? Like, why are we selling so much of this all of a sudden? Do you have the surprise caliber of the year?
Take out 9 and 5.56.
Take them out. Yeah,
take them out. We sold a lot of 7.62 by 39 this year, which is not surprising, but surprising at the same time, because once the Russian steel ammo ban took place, it was like, what do we do? That was a big part of our business, was selling, Tula and Wolf and Red Army, and that's a big chunk of your business where you have to find it. And 10mm has sold crazy amounts. When we get it in, it sells out quickly. 38 Special is another one that was kind of like, it's and I can see why from this perspective, seeing why, for me living in Ohio and free states, we'll call it, 38 Special was you don't care, right? It's just another round. But we ship a ton of 38 Special to California because that is one of the
that's
thing.
True.
On top of it, we've sold a lot of 50 BMG for some reason. That one's always, but not, 9 is there. The one that's sat, and we can all probably agree on this and why, but 40 has just sat there, and I can't get, buy 40.
Hey, I know a couple of people out in the chat that right now, this minute, TrueShotGunClub.com can put your money where your mouth is on the 40.
G23.
Put your money where your mouth is. Calling all 40 lovers.
Get all the 40 you want.
Life. Put your money where your mouth is, homie. And I don't know if it's everywhere else, but I'll tell you what, here in Chase and Snob and Chris and Clover, whatever, you can jump in. To be the end of last year and probably the first quarter of this year, and I don't know why, but 350 Legend blew up around here. Did you happen to see 350 Legend go kind of spike at all, maybe earlier in the year or anything, as far as ammo?
If I could get it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's the thing. No, and the reason why 350 Legend spike, and I've got, again, from Ohio, Deer Hunter, I've got a 350 Legend. Former company built barrels for a 350 Legend. I built one. I love the round. It's a great round. It's a cool, especially if you can get a 20-round mag for it and build a nice light deer gun. And, well, you wouldn't use 20 rounds on deer, but it's a great round. And if I could get
Someone would use 20 rounds for deer. Just saying. Someone.
Some would.
In a free state.
But the 350 Legend, and I've been behind it since it launched, is that in between kind of I don't want a 300 Blackout, but I don't want a 450 Bushmaster. I want a 9mm super duper is basically what the 350 Legend is.
Well, and it's also I can't have a 30-30, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or I can't hunt with a 30-30. I shouldn't say have. I can't hunt with a 30-30. One thing that I noticed with the 350 Legend in this area, and I think it affected some other places close, was when cough hit and election, and you just had all this crazy things going on. I mean, it was a whirlwind of different things, and ammo started to dry up. For the longest, I seen 350 Legend on the shelves.
Yeah.
And I'm not real sure people didn't see it on the shelves, and you didn't have people that didn't go out and buy it.
Go buy a rifle just because I can get ammo.
I considered it. I really did.
There were people buying Glocks in 45 gap because you could get 45 gap.
Did you get to find it? Sure, absolutely.
Well, at least Glock finally sold some 45 gaps that way.
They finally cleared out their warehouse.
Right.
Yeah. See, here in Ohio,
some of their warehouse. What?
Here in Ohio, when that 350 Legend came out, like everybody had 4570 and 450 Bushmaster. When the 350 Legend came out, everybody was just running to get one. But like Clover said, I never saw 350 Legend ammo dry up here. Like anytime I went to a gun store, they had it. And I don't know if it's just because they bought mass amounts of it because they knew how popular the gun was. Because like once that came out overnight, nobody talked about 4570 or 450 Bushmaster for deer hunting in Ohio anymore. It was all 350 Legend.
Well, Winchester dedicated 2 whole lines for it, and that's why you could see it, because they wanted it to become. That was the biggest issue. So like 6mm arc. Again, this is going back to my old days. Like 6mm arc came out, and everyone was Stammer 224 Valkyrie. Same thing. Everyone was Stam. There was no ammo. There was no ammo production because they didn't want to dedicate it to it. And then 350 Legend seems to be the one that Winchester dedicated to, and they built the ammo to go with the guns, and they really pushed it.
Yep, you're exactly right, because all the ammo that was here, it was all Winchester.
Marcus wants to know, he's curious about the Yugoslavia 7.62x39 that you have. Can you know anything about that?
Yeah, so it is comes in when they came in, they're in sealed tins in wooden crates. We have to break them open just because shipping's a nightmare of those wooden crates. I wish we could ship those, but it is corrosive. Just a heads up, it is corrosive. It is from like the late 70s, early 80s.
Interesting.
So it's all on stripper clips too. It's good stuff.
Chris out there says he went to Wally World during the ammo pandemic, and the 350 Legend was the only caliber. So around here, you get 350 Legend, 8 gauge, and 40 Smith & Wesson. Those are the 3 that you could pretty much go and get whatever you wanted to out of those. And I wonder why.
Can we kill the 40? Is everyone okay with that?
I've said this for years. The only thing good about the 40 is you can convert it to a 357 SIG. That's the only thing it's good for. That's it.
You can run it in some 10mm if you wanted to run lighter loads for some odd reason. I don't know why that would be.
Like, why would you want a lighter load 10mm?
Yeah,
that's
you can already get you can already get lighter loaded 10mm anyway, unfortunately. But I was curious, when you talk about the correlation between Winchester and the rifles and the promotion and really tooling up for the 350 Legend, what are you seeing, John, with the 6.8 Western from Winchester?
So I just don't think it's. We've seen the ammo; they are tooling for it, but I just don't see it taking off as much as we want it to. I mean, there's already things out there that, and whenever you come out with a new caliber, let's take like the 350 Legend. There's got to be a demand. Well, there was a demand in states where you could straight wall hunt, because now you've got a lightweight AR. It's in an AR-15 platform. It takes standard bolt carry groups. All I have to do is swap my barrel, so it's very easy. Where 6.8 Western, you have to get a whole new gun, and it's like, it's one of those things. Like the same thing with the Valkyrie and the Arc. It was just a small with Valkyrie. I believe it was a 5.5.
Valkyrie never could get the twist rates figured out.
Valkyrie was
consistent.
Because they couldn't get the projectiles figured out.
Projectile twist. Combination. Absolutely.
And then the ARC, you'd had to switch to a 6.5 Grendel bolt, which is fine, but then you gotta find a 6.5 Grendel bolt and find someone who makes a Grendel bolt, and then you gotta swap it. And that was what made the 350 Legend so popular, is because all these states had just started doing. Ohio had started straight wall, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. I believe it was like 2014 is when we started doing straight wall hunting.
I believe you're correct on that. Yeah.
And then, so you got Ohio, you got Michigan, you got, I believe.
Now, only half of Michigan's weird.
Right.
Like, Michigan's like split in half of what you can and cannot. I've never understood that whole thing. I don't know. Just weird to me.
Yeah. And, well, the reason why Michigan, and this is, I talked to I had a client up in Michigan. I was talking to him about it. I'm like, why are y'all split in half? And he's like, well, up north, it's hilly. Down south, it's flat. So rifle, they were worried about rifle rounds going too far. If, there's us deer hunters who can't shoot straight. But yeah, there's a lot of states that went to straight wall. So it was just this perfect storm of everything being able to go, where like the new hotness or new thing that came out at SHOT last year was that 30 Super Carry. It's cool.
Yeah. How's that going for you?
I haven't seen
it's only like one, maybe two guns though. Like, once again, there's got to be a demand. You're going to need everyone, in my opinion, every one of the big companies to come out with a 38 Super Carry gun to create a demand. I don't know.
And you've got an expensive gun and an even more expensive gun, are the two that's out there too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. Like, I get it. But at the same time, it's one of those things where you got to get the gun. Like I said, there's not a perfect storm for 30 Super Carry. There was a perfect storm for 350 Legend. Yeah. There's not one for 30 Super Carry right now. Yeah. And don't get me started about these companies now naming their guns after, WWE wrestlers. That's my next pet peeve. Everybody's naming them after a WWE wrestler. I swear we're gonna have Raw here on that SHOT Show.
Well, Goldberg's always there, so just saying, two questions real quick. Over the last 3 years, how has the 5.7 done in your eyes? Is it what people thought? Because before they only had the FN, so there was there probably wasn't a huge demand for 5.7. Have you seen ammo go up in sales?
So ammo has gone up in sales. We had a whole bunch of it. We now are stuck with the expensive 27 grain FN produced stuff. Okay. It's good stuff, but it's $54 a box. It's fell off patent. That's all you need to know. It's off patent, which means you're going to see more ammo availability here soon. I can't say from who, but you're going to see more ammo availability because it is off patent. Now these guys can now make it, and they don't have to pay extra for it.
Trying to go. What about the 8.6? That's the new one that's kind of going to get pretty hot. Have you seen? What do you think about that coming around?
Again, unfortunately, it's an ammo thing, and again, love the round. Shot it. We have one at the office that we've been testing.
Well, so what do you think about the ballistics of it? I mean, does it? You like the way it performs, or does it fit like a necessity like niche out there, or is it
it fits a niche? You can build a really small, I guess the term would be port sword, or like a small bolt gun in the 8.6 cartridge. We cold bore, didn't even sight in the barrel sighted in the scope, and we were going out to 400 yards without even trying. With the 8.6. So I wanted to take. We did a long range class up in Idaho with Fred Masterson from Force Options USA. Love Fred. If you guys, I'm plugging him because I love him. If you guys ever want to do a long range class, take his long range class because it's beautiful. We were going to take the 8.6 out with us and do it. We just couldn't get ammo, and we were going to go out to 1,500 yards with it to try it out and to be like, hey, look what you can do with this. And the problem was, we couldn't get ammo. Gorilla's the only one making it. There might be a second company here soon. We haven't heard.
They're down in Florida, aren't they? I think.
Yeah, Gorilla's down in Florida.
Yeah.
But then there's, you got one company making barrels, which is Faxon.
Yeah.
And Q's making guns, but Q is Q, and you know, Kevin is a good guy. But you know, the guns there's not enough demand for it yet. I think ballistically it is awesome. I think everything about it is awesome. We just need to get the ammo availability up. We need more manufacturers to pick it up. We need more barrel companies to pick it up. We need more gun manufacturers to hop on board
to create that demand.
Yeah, you know, because and that again, we're gonna go back to the 350 Legend because it was a perfect storm. You've got Faxon was making barrels. You've got Ruger making ARs. You've got everybody was doing it. Everybody had test ammo. Everybody was working on it and ready to go. And I believe it came out at SHOT 2020. I think that's when it dropped, or was it
2019?
Was it 2019 NRA?
I think
remember
it was 2019 NRA.
Yeah, I remember the first time I seen it was in 2019. It must have been NRA. That was up in India, I think, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's right. So it was NRA, and I remember everyone talking about basically, this is going to change the game. You got a 1,200 yard 5.56 basically, if you will. I was like, it sounds cool, but like, here's the thing. This is no offense for me. Like, I love a 5.56, but that's 300 yards and in. If I've got to start going out 300 yards, I'm not sticking with a 224 Valkyrie. I'm probably going to 6.5 or a larger caliber outside 300-400 yards. I'm not trying to press a 22 diameter freaking projectile 1,200 yards. I don't understand. I don't understand that. So for me, the 224 Valkyrie was never going to be, for me, anything that I would be interested in. But hey, it is what it is. Marcus out there says, question for you guys: long range shooting, MOA or MRAT? I prefer MIL. That's just me.
MRAT.
For me, it's easier. It sounds weird.
MIL. It's less
it sounds
math.
weird. It's less math, exactly. And I'm not very smart, so it does help. Chris, what about you? MOA or MRAT, MIL, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, man, MRAD for long range.
Yeah. Chase, Snob.
MRAD all day.
I just use some good old, just hold her up in the wind and see where she hits in the dirt. And keep aiming until you hit.
Yeah.
I don't need those fancy reticles.
Yeah, he basically
72 inches off its back.
What Snob does, he duct tapes some binoculars on top of his rifle and just tries to Kentucky windage it in there. Hey,
MOA for me.
MOA. Okay.
Opera glasses, sir.
I'm sorry. That's fair. Not to point you out, but I mean, since you are different in the group, is MOA how you kind of like learned, or is there a reason you choose MOA?
I have one mil-dot scope and I never did like it, or had one and I never did like it, and it's just I think it's because I always had the MOA stuff.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I get it. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of them, Marcus. It just depends on what you grew up with or what's easier for you. I think like what I found when I started getting to long range stuff, for me, the MIL stuff was just easier for me to calculate quicker. It simply comes into that. It's just quicker for me to calculate. So that's
Charlie. I think when we were down there with Charlie, didn't say he preferred MIL because it was.
Oh yeah,
quicker.
Yeah. Well, I think what you'll probably find, especially in the sniper world, and being a SEAL in the sniper world, it's much different because you literally have to calculate shit on the fly. And I don't know this, and I can probably ask Charlie this, but I would suspect that the reason why most snipers go MIL is they can do those quick adjustments and calculations maybe easier than with MOA. Either that, or basically a lot of these guys, when they go to be snipers in the military, they have very little experience shooting prior to going to the military. The military actually likes, like I was a very novice. I never really shot before joining the Marine Corps. They like people that don't have a big experience, because if you grew up hunting, grew up shooting, they go in cocky thinking I'm a good shot. Well, you might be a good shot with the 30-30, but you may not be a good combat shot. And they want specific things out of their shooters. So what I suspect is they probably teach MIL more in sniper schools. And it might just be because maybe that's who they get their optics, and they just want MIL across the board. I don't know. But I suspect a lot of snipers choose MIL because it's pretty quick. It's quicker or easier to do some of your calculations. For me, it was definitely easier. It was definitely, and I have very limited brain cells. So anything that can help me get through something is good. I don't think there's a wrong answer. It just really depends on what you're looking for. It's basically, and it sounds weird, it's kind of like the imperial versus metric. And all of us, basically, except for Snob, chose metric. In the optic world,
which is weird,
we chose metric, which is weird.
Well,
but,
for me, I never give it much thought. Because as Snob said, a lot of what I was used to growing up was the 30-30 reticles, right? And that doesn't mean it's on a 30-30, but that type reticle. And you really were. You're like, oh man, I need to hold a foot over the back of the deer, or what, whatever kind of crap, right? And then once I started getting into dots, the most economical when you get into optics are going to be MIL. And then when I started getting into some competition settings, with silhouette steel and some other things, that was all of those were rated in meters anyway. It was 33 meters, 44 meters, 72 meters, 110 meters, right? And so all of that translated easier because the scopes were MIL, and then I just picked it up, so it's just easier. It's like
so easier. For long range, this is just a question for the panel. Christmas tree, like, what's your preferred reticle? Christmas tree, I think especially competition stuff, is, I think, kind of the choice a lot of people go with. But do you guys have a specific reticle that you like? Maybe that's not a Christmas tree.
I mean, I don't shoot that much long range though. I mean, with USPSA and all that stuff.
Yeah, you're doing PCC, so
I'm just using a red dot, but I don't really have much to say on that one. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy it, like going out, get with some buddies and go out to a long range and shoot, but I just don't do it that often.
I hear you.
Well, if it's a long range optic, it's Christmas tree and first focal.
Yeah.
Once you get into so we shot, when we went and took that long range class, we had an MO. I had a MIL, and Kurt, who you guys have met, who's our director of marketing, had MOA second focal point. I had first focal point, and after about 800 yards, he was struggling because there's just so much more math involved after that.
Yep. I think we've had this discussion many, many times. I think for beginners, I think second focal plane is probably the way to go for beginners. I think they're going to be able to see a lot, but then they're probably not beginners. I'm probably going to start out at 1,000 yards. They're probably starting at 200 or 300 yards. But I think second is probably the best. I think once you kind of get used to it, like for me, a second focal plane drives me nuts now. Like I'm going to have my optic for a match, probably like 18, roughly between 16 and 18 magnification, no matter what stage I'm on. And I don't want that reticle taking up the whole scope picture, the sight picture. So yeah, I mean, they're fine, but I think that there's a time and a place for both. I think the second focal point for me, I think beginners absolutely probably helps them a lot. But I think, like you said, there comes a point when it becomes, I think, a hindrance to have second focal plane. That's just me though, especially if you're talking about using high magnification because you're going out, you're stretching your legs a little bit. maybe you like I don't know. I like keeping that small reticle. I don't know. Would you guys like across the room, first focal plane or second focal plane typically?
Starting out, I would definitely say second. Once you start getting used to it, first for me.
Yeah.
I like the mil dots. With a mil dot scope, I don't see dots, and I know that's weird. I mean, visually I see dots, but
okay. Okay. I was like, what do you mean you don't see dots?
Yeah, I mean, visually I see dots, but
okay,
because if you draw the lines across all of the dots, then you basically end up with a graph paper, right? And so I almost, when I'm looking through a mil dot, I'm almost seeing boxes. You feel what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because of the graph paper. Yeah. And so if I ever get a mark shot, you're done. You know what I mean? And I get it from a military standpoint or something. That's not good enough a lot of times. I mean, you got to put a shot better count. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good at distance. Second one. Once I get a one I can see, right? Like I know what part of the graph it landed in, and it's just a matter of moving the target to that spot, and you're on the next shot, right? It's so quick.
Yeah.
But again, that's me. That's not going to be everybody. Everybody is the way they see that scope, the way they see the dots, the way they see the Christmas tree, and everything else. And especially once you talk distance, once you talk what am I talking? Magnifications, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their target's bigger or smaller, and correlating the distance they are. And it's not complex. I'm making it sound a lot more complex, honestly, than it is. Just get out.
You just like listen to yourself talk. It's all good.
Well, let me get out there and just, get on the bench and pull some triggers. It's not that difficult.
Yeah,
but
I hear you.
You get used to what you get used to,
Yeah. No, I think that, one of the things that getting into the long range competition in the last couple of years is being able to follow your projectile to the target. A lot of people can't. And so you were talking about earlier, Clover, is hey, if I missed X amount, dots up, high right, you can kind of move that target to where you saw maybe that impact and all that. There's a lot of people that have problems with following the trail. And I think a lot is because I think a lot of people actually use too much magnification. If you've got if your magnification goes all the way to 24x, that doesn't mean you've got to use it at 24x. Like I said, for a match where it's at 300 yards or at the 1200 yards, I'm usually at 16 or 18 magnification, and I won't go higher than 18 because I want to be able to see everything around the target. If I miss it, I want to be able. If you're zoomed in too much, you're not going to see impact sometimes.
Right.
And so I think there's a lot of people talk about that. Well, I can't see where the impact is. Maybe try zooming out. I think a lot of people think that you're not going to be able to hit anything if they zoom out a little bit. I think it's going to help most people if you zoom out. That's just me.
Very rarely talking about taking a shot. Now, scanning, right? Or
whole
spotting,
different issue.
Totally different issue. But taking a shot, very rarely do I crank my magnification up any more than about halfway, definitely 3/4 of whatever my max magnification is. I never go above 3/4. There ain't no way. And most of the time, I'm more like half is my maximum.
I can honestly tell you that I want to say, especially with this optic here, the only time that I ever had it at the highest is maybe doing the initial zero, like the initial out of the box zero is probably the only time I've ever had that thing cranked up to full magnification.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like I said,
well, I mean, 10 inches.
But that's just me. That's just me. Yeah.
So 10 inches at 1,000 yards is one MOA, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you should be able to. Now, again, everybody's eyesight's different. I get all this, but if you're talking about you've got decent vision and all this other stuff, a straight 10 power scope, you ought to be able to see good enough, with a straight 10 power scope to hit 10 inches at 1,000 yards all day long.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No,
well, I'm with,
or John. I don't care.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, well, I was, taking that class, and I had a really good spotter. Most of you guys know Sean Heron. He told me not to go zoom all the way in. I was zoomed all the way in at first. He goes, go to 10. You're going to be able to see better and work better. So yeah, I'm with Trey on this one.
Yeah. And that's just me. I mean, there are some people that they might have a vision thing where they need to zoom. That's cool. For me, it's not because I can see the target better. It's just I can see everything around the target. So if I do miss, I'm able to see an impact. That's just me.
And here's another issue you have if you're zoomed in too much. So whenever you have an optic and you magnify that sight picture, keep in mind, you're not just magnifying that sight picture, you're magnifying everything else as well, which means you're going to see the movement of your pulse holding that rifle, any kind of flinch, you're breathing, it magnifies every bit
a mirage.
That's why, that's why if you're talking straight up bullseye competition stuff, nobody runs optics. Just like nobody hardly runs optic, not magnified optics. And the reason that they don't is because magnification amplifies mistakes, errors, flaws, that sort of stuff, and you don't need that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is my most powerful scope I think I have on all my rifles is a 12 power, and that's because I guess I'm just too shaky or not sturdy enough for these 16, 18, 24 power scopes because I can't stand it.
Yeah,
I have a 18 power somewhere that I don't even know where it is, and
this is a 6 to 24, but like I said, I'm at 16, 18, like 99% of the time.
It's great to have that for scanning and stuff. It's wonderful for scanning and spotting to be able to.
Well, I'll tell you this much is when we get to a stage and you've got your stage definition and tell you what and in PRS, they pretty much, there are some unknown distance targets, but most stages are going to say, hey, target A is at 394 yards, target B is at this. They're going to kind of give the yardage. But when you get there and you've got that 5 minutes before that stage starts, everyone's down on behind their glass or they're on their binoculars or whatever. But if you're having to find your target initially just to identify, hey, that says A on it, yeah, I have no problem. We're gonna zoom in, but then I'm gonna bring it right back down to that 18 before I start the stage. But yeah, there are reasons to have high magnification. I just don't like shooting from high magnification for sure. Yeah. Marcus, I love the questions, bro. Keep them coming. Do you like your reticle illuminated or not? We're talking like long range stuff. I would say no. Yeah. Now, once again, I want to say this. I don't hunt. So I'm not going to be doing any nighttime hunting where an illuminated reticle may help. I think that an illuminated reticle during the day hurts. For me, it hurts me. Yeah. So mine is not illuminated. I do have some that are illuminated, that are available illuminated, but I will never turn them on. At least I won't. I don't like them.
I think from a hunting perspective, I think that an illuminated reticle, most people that I talk to that have an illuminated reticle, they talk about low light. They talk about magic hour, just as the sun's coming up, just as the sun's going down. Well, that's when the deer come out. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. And I'm like, you realize that lighted reticle is compensating for a crappy scope. And I'm not talking about an inexpensive scope. I'm talking about the objective is not big enough to bring in enough light, right? Yeah. I'm talking about it's not very good, even remotely decent glass. I'm talking about factors like that. And it's like if you had a decent enough scope that was bringing in enough light, you wouldn't have any need to do that. And then the problem that you get when you illuminate a reticle, you've got a scope on there. You might as well have a red dot or something, because by the time you light up that reticle, you've got that glare, right? Because the reticle is lit. It's the same as the way people get a halo. Sometimes you get that halo, right, with a red dot. And so, yeah, I mean, where's your shot gonna land? I mean, is it dead center or is it a little bit high left, high right? And especially if you're talking longer range, like that makes a difference. I mean, you could be a quarter mil off or something just within the lighted portion of the center of the reticle.
Let's just take like a normal like Christmas tree reticle. Like if that's illuminated, like your eyes have 27 different things that they could find something to focus on, and it may not be the right dot that's that you can get. So I don't know. Chris, you were going to say something. Go for it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, because I do a lot of optic reviews on the channel, so and I always point that out in the videos because you'll hear people say that all the time. Well, I can't see the reticle when it's illuminated on a bright sunny day, and I'm like, you shouldn't be using it anyway. Like, and I always bring that up in the videos. I'm like, they're there. I very rarely use them. I have a lot of scopes with a lighted reticle, but
I've always contended it's a novelty thing. It really is. I
mean,
go ahead.
If you're gonna run one, it's like I always say in the review videos, like it's right first thing in the morning when the sun's coming up, or right at dusk. I can see it, but you get a lot of people, and they're like, "Well, I can't see the reticle during the day," and I'm like, "Well, it's not meant to be used. I mean, when it's a bright sunny day, you don't need it anyway. What's the point?"
Actually, you know what? For me, my favorite shooting conditions. This is just me. I love shooting overcast. My favorite shooting conditions is if it's overcast and gray. For me, it's everything just pops, and I love shooting in overcast conditions.
The other thing I see too with lighted reticles, it's the same with red dots that I see people do all the time too, is they crank it all the way up. They put it literally on 11 and go, and you're like, you're only supposed to have that up as much as you need to have it up to be able to see it. That's it.
That's right.
And then you
like
stop.
Usually it's 2 or 3 at the most. Typically,
find out where that sweet spot is for you, right? And that's where you go. Don't throw it to the highest thing every single time.
Yep. Snob, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say the only time I ever use my lighted reticle on any of my LPVOs is the ones that have the circle dot. Basically, it's not really a circle dot, but the horseshoe dot. I don't know what the heck you call it. Anyways, if you turn it up a little bit bright and you're just shooting for fun up close, say inside of 100 on an LPVO, it works just like a red dot. You just pop it up and you can hit it. But other than that, I don't ever use it. I don't guess. I guess I have at night. So I'm turning it down.
That's a valid
low,
point. Yeah, that's
like
a valid
in the middle
point.
of the night.
That's a valid point with an LBPO. Yeah, I could see it.
Now, an LPVO, I do all of my LPVOs. By the way, that's a BDC reticle. Awesome reticle. My favorite reticle, actually. That was a word. LPVOs, I will run. I do have illuminated reticles. Once again, I try not to use them if I don't have to. But for an LPVO, there is still some value because you could run it like a dot. So I mean, there is value in an LPVO having an illuminated reticle because you can still run it kind of like a red dot.
Still don't want it too high, but yeah.
Oh, no. Like 2 or 3 ever is the max. Like you really, if you have to run it at more than a 3, then you should probably just turn it off and just say the hell with it, because it's going to actually screw you. That's just me. It's going to screw you up more. Now you guys brought up, I don't remember which one of you was, we're talking about letting the light in with the objective. And that was a great point. People don't think about, they think that magnification numbers being the most important, but the objective is a very important number. In most long range, I think that the norm now is probably 50. That's probably the norm. But what's the lowest objective you guys think that someone, if they're getting into long range, they should get into?
Oh man, 50 for sure.
The lowest, the
lowest?
smallest.
Yeah. I mean, and I say that. I mean, I'm trying to think now. The fixed 20 power on my 50. I can't remember what it is. I want to say maybe it's a 44 or 48 or something, right? But, middle of the day, optimal. I mean, that's not something I'm going out, I'm hunting with it. I'm not, it's going to the range, that type of thing. It's a play toy. So, it's plenty. When we talk about reticles, talk about objectives. Another thing, and I'm a big fan of them simply because they look cool. I want to caveat this: is sunshades. But I see people that put the big long sunshades on, right? And that looks cool because it makes the scope look way bigger than it is, and on certain rifles and all, right? It just looks good. I'll admit, and they do serve a purpose. If it's really bright out, right? Depending on the position of the sun, if you're shooting into the sun and some things like that, right? That's the whole point of a sunshade. But if you're talking about lower light situations, pull those sunshades. There's a reason they screw on and off.
Right.
Screw the sunshade off, and that's going to allow, because if you got that, think about it. If you've got that sunshade on, light has to almost come directly straight into the scope, right? It can't really come in from as sharp of an angle, so you're not really pulling as much light in. And I see that happen with folks. They'll get a really nice scope, and then because it just looks better, they'll put a 4-inch or even a 6-inch or an 8-inch freaking sunshade on there, and it's like, not in low light situations.
Yep. Chase, you were going to say something?
Yeah, going towards like what Clover's saying. Besides your field of view, people don't understand. Most people who are, I'm a giant self-avowed optic snob, and I've sold an absolute metric fuck ton of optics over the years. And the average person doesn't understand. The average shooter who thinks he doesn't understand exit pupil. They don't understand director tubes. They don't understand any of that. So just because you have a larger objective doesn't necessarily mean you're doing anything else to help you out anyway. If you've got, most of these companies are running, everybody advertises 30 millimeter tubes these days. The vast majority of scopes, just because it's a 30 millimeter tube, it's still a 1-inch erector on the inside of it. You're not gaining anything.
Yep.
You might gain a little adjustment, but you're not gaining anything. There's a reason that Collis, there's a reason that Night Force, there's a reason those things cost what they do, is because they're built correctly.
Yep.
And you're going to gain.
Well, you're also talking about at that point, at that level, you're talking about glass being superior as well. People don't understand the quality of glass that can change an optic. You can take a $600 optic, change the glass on it. I'm not saying it's going to be the same as a $1,200 optic, but you just you put good glass on a $600 optic, and it's so much. Glass does. There's a reason why good glass costs more, because it does change everything as well. Go ahead. Sorry.
I hear a lot of people that will say, I've got a video out there that's explaining all the parts and pieces and everything of a scope, right? And kind of layman's terms, what all they do. And one of the things I talk about is the tube. And I've got comments on there, and I've had conversations with other people that absolutely tell me the tube does not matter. And I'm like, it depends on the scope as to whether or not the tube matters. Like, if you're talking about high-end, good quality stuff, yes, that tube matters.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it does. People don't understand what goes into construction of a good optic.
Yeah. But there's also, let's be honest with this, there's also companies out there that are selling 34 millimeter tubes that, as Chase said, has the 1-inch on the inside. So it's more of a beefing the scope up, right, thing, than it is actually improving the function of the scope. It's more of a rigidity type thing, and they don't tell you that. They just say it's a 34 millimeter, and people assume because 34 millimeter is better.
Absolutely, there's a reason why a Collis 5-25 or a Night Force Beast or an ATAC or something like that has the tube size it does, but also has the erector housing and the adjustment housings they do, because they have to be that big for, one, that much adjustment, but two, to benefit from the light gathering ability of that optic.
Yep.
There you go. Marcus, next question. He says, do you prefer red or green dot or illumination? Chris, red or green, or another color? A lot of you like yellow.
I never really now I'm talking about dots now, so we're kind of getting off the scopes. Sure. But I've got astigmatism, so there's a lot of dots that starburst real bad on me.
Yeah.
I think the green dot is better if you have astigmatism. When I got the Swamp Fox Kraken, I was like, now we're talking about an enclosed emitter too. So, but I was super impressed. Like the Holosun 509T was always my favorite red dot, but that Kraken and like with that green dot I really really like it.
Now there
Green dots
was,
are
I'm not
growing
sure if it
on me.
was, I don't know if the 509 had one back 2019. Holosun came out with a bunch of yellow dots, and I was talking with them at NRA, and I asked him, say, yellow dots. He says, look, studies have shown that people that are colorblind, the one color that they can see traditionally is yellow. And so that's why a lot of the optic companies went with some yellow dots for a while there, is because of the color blindness of people. They can pick up yellow. I don't know if that's legitimate or not, but they said that's what it is.
I've got a Trigicon ACOG that's orange. It's orange chevron.
I was going to say all the old Trigicons are all amber.
Yeah, I can't stand
orangey yellow
those.
because everybody picked them up.
Yeah, maybe it is amber, but whatever. It looks orange to me.
Yeah, it's that yellowish orange. Yeah, but I mean that very well could be why Trigicon sends those to the militaries in case there is people learning with those ACOGs that are colorblind. They're able to pick those up. I don't know. I don't like that, but maybe it works for some people. John, red, green, yellow, pink, purple. What's your favorite dot?
I would have to go with green, and Viridian has a good line of green dots. And from my understanding, like you guys said, the yellow, the green are easier to pick up in the eye, but for colorblind people, yellow is probably the best, really.
Yep. So you've heard the same thing about the yellow being for colorblind?
The first people I heard that from was from Night Vision.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
They were one of the first to do the yellow outline on the night sights.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so it is a real thing. I just thought they were full of shit. They were just making some reason why they wanted to do a yellow dot, but I guess it is maybe a real thing.
If Viridian goes back and revamps their pistol dots with a side load battery or a top load battery, they'll sell the heck out of those dots. They're so clean, crystal clear.
Yeah. Snob, you put out in the chat green. Are you going to stick with green?
Yeah, I'm a big green dot fan. I've switched a bunch of my dots to green.
Yeah.
Every dot I buy.
There are a lot of dots now that give you the option of red or green now, which I think is kind of cool. Where some of the companies are saying, "Hey, let's give them an option where you can like change a dial or push a combination of buttons or whatever, and it will change to a green dot."
Those fancy ones, but
well, I mean, you're the gun snob. I figured you would.
No, I've got 3 or 4 green pistol dots now, and I really have got to where I like them a lot better than the red. But I really, you were talking about. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you can answer this and go back to what you were saying on pistol. So you prefer green on pistol? Do you prefer green dots on like an AR or what?
I don't have a green dot on an AR. Well, I put my Kraken on my little PC9 that one day, and it was pretty nice.
Okay.
Green, but I don't have any green rifle dots. I don't guess. And all I was going to say was, you were talking about the orange or amber or whatever. I was thinking about orange because I was thinking I love the XS sights. Their big orange dot front sight.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
I thought, an orange dot might be kind of neat because you really pick up that front sight really quick with the orange on it.
Now, Clover, with your weird ass yellow glasses, does like an orange dot like pop on them?
Not so
I'm being serious because I know you said there are some of those yellow glasses that make the orange clay pop, and I didn't know if that would make like an orange dot pop.
The yellow ones, the yellows do not. The amber or the red, the ruby, like the Hunter's HD ruby.
Oh, okay.
Not the yellow.
Right.
If anything, the yellow glasses cancel out more green. I think a little bit, maybe, but it's very minimal. It's very minimal.
Okay. You prefer red, green, or what?
So,
rose colored?
Yeah.
What were you saying, Snob?
I was just making a joke. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Okay. Sorry.
So, if we're talking about like a scope, I'm a fan of green. For the same way that I think if I was to use a red dot for everyday carry, especially, I I would probably go green. In a lower light situations, to me, green is it's better. It's cooler, as in temperature wise. It's like a cooler color, right? Not near as much glare or reflection or things really happening off of it. And so I kind of like that better. Now for especially, speed steel type, competition type, painted white steel targets, white, paper targets, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Red works fine. And a lot of times even with bullseye type stuff, I mean, red is usually a go-to for me. With that, now, all of that being said, a color that I have used on very rare occasions, and there's not a whole lot of companies making it, that I think is completely freaking awesome, is blue.
Yeah,
Lucid makes it blue.
Yeah, the blue dots are pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'll go into that in a second. Chase, red, green, yellow, purple, pink. What?
That's an amazing answer, Chase. Did he swallow his microphone?
That's what it sounds like.
Maybe it sounds like it. I can hear some mumbling. Maybe like unplug your earbuds and plug them back in or something.
Hang on a second.
There you go. You're back.
It's Bluetooth. I don't know how the hell. Anyway, green.
We hear you.
Personally.
Yeah, we hear. You like green? Okay. Yeah, I've got a couple.
Green, let's say your eye picks up green better. The vast majority of people who aren't colorblind, the human eye picks up green faster than anything. I mean, I run green fiber fronts, green fibers on shotguns. Green just works.
No, I don't dislike green. I really do. I do have some green dots. I have some green fiber on some guns, and I really do like it. I guess for me, I've just used red so long that I'm used to it. It doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It's just something that I'm used to. I will say on some of the dots that I have that are green, I kind of dig it. Now, that being said, it all depends on what you're going to be using it for also and where you live. Like if you're going to be shooting a lot where there's a lot of green trees and all that in your background, for me, it's kind of hard sometimes. You got to, and all that. So red, depending on where. Now, if I'm going to go CQB, I'm going red 100%. For some reason, especially if there's going to be a low light. For some reason, I pick up red a lot. That's why I always run a red on like my AR-9. It's going to be my truck gun, home defense gun. Because like CQB, especially low light CQB, for me, red pops. Maybe it's because I'm used to it. But I do like green, and I do like green fiber optic on some pistols as well, for sure.
What about blue? You were going to say something about blue.
Oh, okay. So okay. So here's the thing. I do like the blue dot. I think because a lot of it because blue's my favorite color. That said, what do you guys think in like a low light situation? That seems like to me that would kind of like be difficult to pick up. I don't know. What do y'all think?
Didn't seem like to me, but everybody.
What I'm saying is like if you see blue Christmas lights at a house, like they don't pop as much as. Yeah, I guess that's true too.
But everybody's vision is different, right? So
yeah,
who knows?
I'm just concerned with blue when I'm shooting into the air yelling World Star that I won't be able to see my optics.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I don't know the answer to this question, but I'm going to pose a question. Okay. Red dots obviously came out before green dots and all of that.
Yeah.
Really, like, any idea why it was all red, seemingly all red, and then kind of things slowly moved into you started to see more green, and there was sprinklings obviously of the amber and other stuff, and that's not what I'm talking about with some of the fringe high dollar stuff. I'm talking about mainstream. Why was
I don't know why red was the default color for so long. I don't know. John, Chase, Snob, Chris, any of y'all have any idea why red seemed to be the default color?
I'm gonna give an uneducated guess and go. It's got to do with emitter technology, and they were able to get
I
rid
was
of
gonna say
emitters.
Maybe battery life or something. Maybe?
Well, battery
Emitter-
life is higher on red than green for sure.
Emitter / cost, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at old diodes, you look at old lasers, you look at all that. Everything was red, and so red just makes sense for an emitter to be red initially.
Right.
For a wild ass
Aaron
guess,
says that
anyway.
red was more energy efficient. I think that red is not as efficient.
No, red. Your battery life's longer on a red dot than it is on a green dot on a pistol.
Yeah.
Is it?
That's
Okay.
That's
All
what
right.
I've always heard too.
Huh. Okay. Well, that very well could be it as well. I don't know.
I think it's like a 5,000 hour difference between red and green. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is.
It's a lot. I know. I don't know.
Yeah, the emitter technology and green, and to keep it cool is the other thing about the green systems.
Yep. Yeah.
Is the technology is just not there to keep the battery life as long on a green as there is a red.
Yeah.
But that's also why green to a lot of people is brighter and it jumps out at them more, is because it's the different emitter technology.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good, great question. There obviously was a reason, whether it was financial or scientific. There was a reason why red was the default for so many years.
Well, I mean, clearly it's because they're called red dots. That had to be the first one if you call them red dots.
This is true. I mean, they
didn't come out saying green dots, and
So in a parallel universe somewhere, someone doing string theory, like I wonder if somewhere in the parallel universe they're called green dots, like, and red is the weird color, like red's the new color. I'm sure there was, yeah.
In the multiverse of the gun world.
Hey, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, G-Web says, "Ask a real manufacturer shot." Hey, there you go. Now, G's talking green lasers do not exist. Green lasers are IR lasers pushing through green film that falls off. So IR, we're not talking IR here. We're talking like red dots. Like, why are red dots called red dots, and why have they forever been red versus, like, I'm surprised, honestly, I'm surprised one hasn't come out like a pink dot, I mean, I'm sure it's a cost.
Sky probably is going to start shipping their pink pistol with a pink dot on it.
Yeah. So are
Don't give them any more ideas.
Really red with green filters? No, I think what G's talking about is if you see like a green laser. No, we're talking red dots. I think that the LED is a green dot in a green dot. I don't think it's red through a green filter. I think that it actually does emit a green dot on those. I don't know for certain, but I would imagine that would be the case. Yeah, but we're talking IR. That's a whole different thing. But honest to God, the vast 99% of the people in the world will never have a use for IR. Let's just be honest. A legitimate, real use for IR. You only need IR if you're running nods. How many people legitimately need to run nods? Just saying. That's just me. It is. Don't shoot me out there, but it is what it is.
Hey.
So G says they are red running through a green filter. Is that true? Like, I can't imagine that being true. Is that true?
That's way.
There are only red LEDs. I think either G's just being funny and being stupid out there causing.
I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell, but
that's what I'm saying.
Really I know that.
So this could be legitimate. I don't know.
I know that I've got it. I've got a buddy I can ask because he's really big into electronics and does all kinds of LED lighting things and all kinds of stuff. So
I can call HoloSun and ask them.
Right.
I mean, I'll call Adam over at HoloSun and ask him and see what he says.
That'd be interesting. Like I said, I've never had anyone actually ask that question. I just assumed that they were red LEDs, green LEDs, whatever the LED is that's what color it is. But yeah, maybe he's right. We're getting a lot of hate out there. A lot of people are saying that G's actually like explaining it perfectly. So he's not kidding. Hey, you learn something new every day, and so yeah, absolutely. I had never thought about that. I never knew that. So yeah. Anyways, trying to think here. Oh, one question I have written down that I wanted to ask earlier, because this kind of goes for Chase and John. Earlier in the show, John, you said that you guys like to use the Dr. Z ammo. Dr. Z, right? It's not DRZ, it's Dr. Z officially.
It's Dr. Z officially, but just call it DRZ. That's what everybody else does.
Okay. So the DRZ, Dr. Z, whatever, you said you guys enjoy using that when testing out your firearms. What specifically do you think that particular ammo brings to when you're testing a firearm out?
For that, it's 100% has to do with the load, and it's just been a consistent load. It's been very good to us. The bigger thing with that is that it's coming out of Turkey, and people don't understand like the manufacturing power. Chase probably does. If anybody in this chat knows,
absolutely.
Chase does, but the manufacturing capabilities of Turkey and the quality of the ammo that's actually coming out. We've had one bad batch of ammo. It was not DRZ, but it was from Turkey. It was hard primer, NATO spec stuff, and that's what people don't understand. It's NATO spec hard primer. With most modern guns will fire it, but a lot of people are tricking out their stuff to put in lighter springs and things. But we've run it through Smith & Wessons. We ran it through the Prodigy, and it ran flawlessly. And everybody's gonna hate because everyone's got an opinion on that gun. But that thing just ran and ate that stuff like it was nothing.
Okay. I want to bring Chase in on this because I want to ask you two questions, and I don't know if you're able to say this or what. Typically, what ammo do you guys run when you're testing? And the reason why I'm asking that is there are several manufacturers that have told me when they send me guns, hey, for the first 100 or 200 rounds, run 124 grain through it and then switch off to 115 if need be. So my question to you is when you guys are doing your testing, Chase, what grain, we're talking 9 here at this point. What grain do you guys use at 9mm? And do you guys have a specific brand that you have found on your side that you use for testing?
No, I mean, we've used all kinds. I mean, one, because you're doing endurance testing, you're doing batch testing, you're doing all that. But we ran several manufacturers, several grain weights, honestly, what we can find, what might be a better deal, etc. But no, I mean, we've used all the major manufacturers, 9mm, 115s, 124s, even some, 147 stuff. It's like what John was saying. I've shot a couple boxes of that DRZ or Dr. Z or however that internet argument wants to work out on what they call it. But,
that sounds like a forum argument to me, just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, the couple boxes of it I played with, it all ran fine. It's NATO spec. Most of the stuff out of Turkey's coming is going to be NATO spec,
right?
Which most modern firearms run it just fine. But as you start, like he was saying, as you start playing around and tricking out guns and putting lighter springs and stuff in there, that's where the issues come from. But as far as a standard service pistol, I haven't seen an issue out of it. Yeah. And they do take, most Turkish companies, caveat there's most, do take quality control pretty seriously. Some, like anything else, there's always outliers, but the vast majority of people who actually put their name on something, who actually are prideful in what they produce, it's all as good as anything you're going to get here.
Well, I also know just in general, talking to you and other people that deal with some of the Turkish companies, their factories are like immaculate. Like they spend money on their factories to make sure that everything that goes through their factories are really good. So that just shows right there. They're willing to spend the money up front to make sure that they've got the highest technology, the best working conditions in the factories, so that they can produce good stuff. So, there's a lot of people.
But they've also at the same time got the hands-on craftsmanship and attention to things.
Sure.
which is really neat.
Pride comes in. There's two sets of things in mass production. There is the ones that are going to take pride and take the extra half a second or second sometimes to make sure that it's done perfectly. And there's some that it's going to be, oh snap, let's just get as many. Good Lord.
Hey, it's Steve.
It's Steve.
Yeah.
I told him I was going to be on.
Well, that fool, he moved away from you now, so he's half a continent away from you.
Yeah, he upset me. I am. I told him last night. I said, he's like, I'm there in spirit. I'm like, well, the meat doesn't taste as good without you because he makes some hella good barbecue. But I did want to add something to what you said, Ghost, about the 124 grain and why they're telling you to run it the first couple hundred rounds. Okay.
Well, I would imagine to break in that spring and everything else, so there's not some cycling issues. I guess I'm assuming.
Yeah. No. So a lot of it has to do in coming from the manufacturing side, with previous company manufacturing side. It has to do with that, and it has to do with microbursts. We're trying to work out all the little. You can get metal as perfect as you possibly can, but there may be a burr in there. It is a machine part.
Yeah.
There's going to be some tolerance fittings and burrs and things like that. And to run a quote unquote hotter load, even though there's really not much difference between a 124 and a 115 grain 9mm in low data. If you're looking at low data, it's minute enough, but there's enough that it'll break in those springs. It'll get those microburrs worked out. But it gives it enough for the slide to get over those burrs and try to work them out. That's the real reason why most of them say it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. I've only actually, like I said, I've had a couple. I had a couple of people. One of them was with Canik. This is a couple years ago when Canik first coming on the scene. They sent me a TP9, and the person that I don't even think he's there anymore, but he says, "Hey, first 100, maybe 200, but at least the first 100, run 124 through it. Then you can go to 115 and you'll be fine." And I did. I think I went 200 rounds with 124, and that thing has never had an issue. I've had a couple different people have said that, and maybe it's just better for specific guns. Maybe they just have known through their testing before public release that, hey, this might run the first couple hundred rounds, might run this through 124. But
Chase, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the ammo run in Turkey for testing is 124 grain, correct?
He ate his microphone again.
Yeah, his damn Bluetooth went out again.
Holy shit, is that better? This piece of shit, I swear. Anyway, most of it's 124.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Maybe that's why with some. So, but here's the thing with me, Chase, with that the P35. I ran nothing but 115 through that and never had an issue once. So maybe it's just a gun. I don't know. Maybe certain guns with certain designs or whatever. It might even be certain batches that only that need that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it'll eat 115 fine. We haven't had an issue of it not running 115. You just gotta keep in mind most 9mm are designed around a 124 because that's a NATO spec ammo.
Yep. Big Kid moved out to I don't know. I think everyone pretty knows he's out there in Eastern Tennessee. He said the barbecue is not very good. Well, here's the thing. I'm assuming that not the Eastern Tennessee barbecue is probably using like Memphis style barbecue, and I'm not a Memphis barbecue guy. I'm a Texas guy, so Memphis barbecue to me is not the greatest, but. I'm assuming you guys eat a lot like brisket, like in beef barbecue instead of pork out there in Arizona, don't you?
Yeah, and what it really is the barbecue is not as good as because it probably was run over about 20 minutes earlier and coated in moonshine. So,
hey, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
No, nothing at all.
A good blueberry moonshine is pretty damn good. Just saying. Just don't eat the blueberries. That will do a job on you.
Brine all the pork and George Dickel and Jack Daniels. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. But yeah. 2 hours. Wow, 2 hours. I'm going to start with Chris and say, man, thanks for coming on. Once again, can't wait to see you again. We met in Tulsa at Wanamaker, but yeah, can't wait to see you in Vegas and your first SHOT Show. I think you're going to knock it out of the park, so really happy for you. But tell people about some of your projects, where they can find you and all that jazz.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. This was a lot of fun tonight. I had a great time. So, yeah, you can find me at Chris from the 740 here on YouTube and Instagram. And tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing the Wednesday night live chat. And I've got Eagle Run 2-3 coming on with me tomorrow night. So we're going to have a good time.
There you go. Yeah, thanks for coming on, bud. Really, like I said, really excited you made the decision to go to SHOT and all of that. I'm going to go to Snob first. I'm going to let John and Chase kind of wrap up. I'm going to Snob. If you were going to create content, where could they find you at, Snob?
I don't know. Somewhere in Oklahoma. Oh, you mean actually on the internet? Oh, hell. I don't know. I might create some content one of these days again. I need to.
No, you've been a little busy, but yeah. No, go check out the Gun Snob, obviously. Clove, you've got 27 channels, but you don't do shit on any of them.
I know, right?
It's just I don't understand it. I really don't.
Well, I went over to his card channel the other night. I thought it was going to teach me how to shuffle cards better, and it was like tearing open packages or something stupid. I don't know.
I've got some old
card nerd, so I love the card channel. By the way,
I do too. That's a lot.
But I'm a nerd in that.
But if you want to watch some card tricks, I think I do have some card tricks.
Of course, he's got another channel with card tricks.
Of course,
I think I
Clover
do.
Card Tricks.
I think I do. Yeah, I think I do.
Clover Tack Tricks. Yeah.
Why not?
He is a leprechaun, so why would he not have magic tricks?
Yeah, multi-dimensional here for sure.
Yeah, that's his 28th channel. I didn't know that was in existence.
So yeah, that's Thursday night that we do, and I'll tell you what, I've been getting in some different things for us to rip over there. I got in that Star Wars Bounty Hunters box today. Oh, it was all I could do not to rip into it when I took it out of the box. I was like, oh my god, I want to rip this so bad. It looks cool. So yeah, we have some fun over there.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go watch that channel because I just want to hear him say Bubba Fett.
Bubba Fett. Yeah.
Yes,
he'll be in there. He'll be in there. I hope he is anyway. So yeah, I've got.
Says Clover. What's the card channel? It's literally called Clover Tack Cards. By the way,
literally called Clover Tack Cards. Yeah. So tomorrow night I will be on with New York.
Oh snap! Look at that.
Oh, that's
nice.
Full screen. Hang on. Show it again.
Yeah, show it again. There it is.
That's nice. Very nice. He's going to wear that to SHOT Show, right? I heard.
I have one of those hanging right up here above me.
Only that. He's going to wear like a pink Speedo, a plate carrier, and the Bubba Fett hat. I mean,
but nobody else.
EAA's booth. Right in EAA's booth for sure.
Nobody else.
100% you will. Nobody else has anything over there.
Nobody has the rifle. That's all I gotta say. Nobody has the rifle.
Chase says Fudo Fett. Is it Fud Fett? Or he called himself the Fudalorian last week. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I was like,
yeah.
Mando, Fudo, whatever.
Right. Fudo, Mando. Yeah. It works. Whatever.
If he had any hair on his nuts, he'd come up with a cool ass Fudalorian logo. You could have some fun with that.
They don't have anything to do with that. It has, okay. Yeah, I need some cool patches. I need to get some stuff done. Maybe next year.
Fudalorian patch needs to happen.
We'll see how 23. We'll see how 23 works out with all those sweet paid gigs from True Shot.
I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to hear back from my patch guy because I forgot to order them, and TJ reminded me that I was going to do the ATF patches and give them to the ATF people at SHOT Show this year and give my hug to my girl every morning. But I was going to do the ATF that says Waco, Texas's largest barbecue. I wonder how they would take that. That'd be a great patch. They actually give to the ATF. TJ said he was going to get his ATF. We'll shoot your cat too.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Did you legitimately see their new calendar for 2023?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's perfect. It is perfect. I mean, why wouldn't they have that?
My ass off.
Yeah, so people don't know. Like last year, or I guess it's still this year technically. In the dungeon, Tuesday morning, first thing, I walked past the ATF booth and I said, you know what? And I went over there, like legitimately, like not trying to be an asshole to him. I said, look, I imagine this week's going to be not the most fun week for you guys because there's no one's going to like you. And I said, I get that. And so I gave this woman a hug, big old lady, gave her a hug. For the rest of the week, every morning, she had me go there, give her a hug. And every time I walked by, she'd give me a high five. Coolest girl in the world. Now, that said, if I bring them a Waco, Texas' largest barbecue patch, I very seriously doubt that I'll be getting any more hugs. But I thought that'd be kind of cool. And like I said, TJ was going to do We'll Shoot Your Cat too. So that's a great
I just
patch.
want it known that the views and opinions of this panel do not reflect the views and opinions of me because I like my dog. I just want that known.
Yeah.
Right.
Faux show. Look, listen to that thing. He just purring over there. Let's see here. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I love it. We've got an Aussie in the house right now. I got my daughter's 3 dogs. They're up out of town for a week, so we're watching their 3+ hour shepherd, and one of them is like a 6-month-old, roughly Aussie, cutest little puppy in the world.
That's old he is. 6 months.
Lots of energy. We got about 2 hours sleep last night. That was fun. Yeah. All right, let's bring John in. John, I'm going to give you a few minutes. What's called? Thanks for coming on, brother. We'll be seeing you. By the way, why have y'all not gotten in with somebody for range day and gotten a booth, or at least shared a booth for range day? That would make sense for you guys, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would make 100% sense. So if anybody out there is at a company and wants to partner up for range day, I'm 100% down for that. That'd be fun.
Hey, Chase. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's in the house.
But yeah, we've got like you guys said, we're the largest ammo dealer in the state of Arizona, put us probably top 5 in the country right now. So we are glad to be supporting everybody in their ammo habits. Check us out. Like link was in the comments multiple times, trueshotgunclub.com. We'd love to have your business. My whole thing for SHOT Show this year is I need to fulfill my addiction some more. I mean, I don't know if you can see the panel, but it needs to get more filled. That whole wall and ceiling is going to get filled.
I was going to say, like, that's. I'm not going to lie, that's an impressive patch panel. That's pretty impressive out there.
I've been trying to find my patch on
it. I don't see any leprechauns jumping out, so that's wonderful. No leprechauns, and I'm happy with that.
They're back there. There's a hug of fud. There's a hug of fud patch on the lower panel. Snob, you're somewhere in here. Yours glows in the dark. That's the only reason why I know it's yours. But I found out so does the hug of fud. I didn't know that one glue in the dark, but it glows in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I need to fill that up a little bit more. I guess that's my calling card for the industry. That's showing how long I've been.
So I've got my 2023 patches just came in, so I'll get you one when we get the shot.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited just to go to SHOT and see everybody again. It's always a good time hanging out with everybody and talking 100%. Shop and getting going. And I'm gonna plug one other thing.
He's not quick. Going to SHOT this year.
No, because he moved to Tennessee. He doesn't love us. He doesn't love us anymore. So he's moved to Tennessee.
Do they not have airports in Tennessee?
Apparently
it's
not.
a horse and buggy.
Yeah, well, if he just drove to where I am, it's only about 6 hours. We could fly over there out of Little Rock and have a good time.
He's got to wrangle a bear and ride the bear all the way to SHOT, and it's just frowned upon by everybody. So, other than that, I want to do one more little plug. I got to shout out these guys. This is Ohio Cigar Mafia. We do a lot of charitable work. I'll put that back up. Ohio Cigar Mafia. They do a lot of charitable work, especially with Southeastern Guide Dogs. For those of you who don't know who Southeastern Guide Dogs is, it's a nonprofit organization that gives guide dogs to veterans with PTSDs and anything else, no questions asked. They give food and care for the life of the dog, and then you get a new one once that dog has time to retire. So we really support that. Last year we raised about $20,000 for them. We're going to hopefully raise some more. So if you guys want to go donate, it's southeasternguidedogs.com, I believe. Go check them out. Go check out their story, what they do. It's a worthwhile organization. I want to make sure that we get the word out for them and get donates. And we do run events in Ohio. Even though I'm not there anymore, I will push that we run events and it's shareable. We do get people from the industry to donate. So if anybody on here is from the industry other than Chase and everybody else, if you've got something to donate, we'd love to have it and kind of raise awareness for this organization to help veterans out. If you can't see on the little patch, it does have a 22 on there for that number's up higher. Pull that one, 22 a day. So just be aware, and like you having your thing down there, it's a worthwhile organization to back up.
It's kind of a bittersweet thing. The latest numbers we got last year from the study that was put out by the VA and all that, it's down to 17. That said, and it's still a lot, but I mean that's a significant jump from 22 to 17 in the last decade, which I guess is a good thing. I wish it was a lot lower than that, but I think that there are a lot more people now that are aware of different organizations. People in general are a lot more aware about this, and I think that some of our warriors are understanding that it's okay to admit you're having problems and all of that. So yeah, I think that that's a wonderful thing. Now I think Steve's out there is just he's trying to make us feel sorry and feel bad for making fun of him. I think he's full of shit, but he is
full of shit. Steve's full of shit. I love you, Steve. I will give him props. He did fly out for the Arizona Firearms Festival, which we had back in November. So it was great to see him then, but Steve, just move back. We miss you. We need you. I need your meat because it's so delicious.
Oh, wow. Hey, it's a family show.
Hey,
this is a family show.
I know. No, earlier he was talking about spreading his legs. Then he was talking about plugging a guy. Now he needs meat. I don't know about this ginger, man. We need to.
So we went out.
Let's move Snob up there. That's what we'll do.
We're gonna put Baby in the corner. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, how many other of your friends are gonna go to the range for you to film content, and then while you're filming content,
give you his meat?
Cook beef, smoke beef tips while you're shooting, and by the time you're done shooting,
it's just the tip. Oh, it's just the tip. I get it. I get it.
That man is a saint somewhere.
Oh, good God. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Well, that got off the rails fast.
Oh, it doesn't take long around here. It doesn't take long. Real quick before we go to Chase, John, is there anything that you can talk about publicly that you might be looking forward to 2023 with?
I'm working out a couple different things. We're going to do a lot of educational ammo stuff here in 2023. It's going to be a little bit different on the channel. You're going to see a step back a little bit from gun reviews. We still want to do some gun reviews. We're going to feature some products that we really like in these ammo, focused things. So it's going to be a different view from the channel, but it's also going to be good content. It's going to be great. And we're really looking forward to being able to put out some stuff that, to you and I and everybody on this panel is common knowledge, but we forget very quickly in this industry that there is 20 million plus new shooters, and they gotta go somewhere for education. So why not us to help them with their ammo questions? And, we're really excited to kind of grow and expand the business as much as we can over the next year.
Awesome. 2A Syndicate says he saw me on a regular Gun Guys live. Yeah. He asked me last week or whenever it was, asked me to come in. We were talking about some different stuff and talked a little bit on there, but yeah, welcome to the dark side, man. I can't promise you that our content's going to be good. Honestly, we know we're not going to make you any smarter. We honestly just trying to make you any dumber with our content. But hey, you're here. You drank the Kool-Aid. You ate the wrong pill, but you got here, and it's okay. The Matrix will treat you well. Thanks for that. He said he also subscribed to Chris. So thanks again. John, as always, good talk to you. We'll see you soon. Chase, want to bring you in, let you kind of fill in anything that we've been talking about tonight. I know you guys have a ton of shit going on at EAA, not just with Gerson, but some of the other brands and all that. Go ahead and tell people about what you guys are doing right now. Maybe what publicly you can talk about, what might be coming down the road in 2023 for you guys. And as far as me, I'm getting a Christmas present early in a couple of days. Looking forward to getting to a new Gerson gun coming my way. I've only waited 2 years for it, but hey, I'm not complaining, but no, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, Chase, talk a little bit about EAA, because it's not just Gerson. I think that's the big dog in the house, but you guys do a lot of things. Do a lot of things over there. EA import a lot of stuff. So talk a little bit about that. Yeah, do, buddy. I mean, if you didn't ask for a gun in the middle of like all the COVID madness, that would help too. I mean, hey,
for a very, very specific model with a specific setup.
It actually was before COVID. You were just using someone that you no longer use, so it's not your fault. I'll give you a little bit of that.
No, I mean, so
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You said, your son obviously is our, we're doing a lot with your son now. Also do a lot with the Yukara Churchill family as far as shotguns go. I don't want to talk too much about that to make you upset. And then we have the Wyrock revolvers that been doing for 34 years. These great wear.
Shotguns, I get rashes.
Yeah, if you could ever get the revolvers in, that's the problem.
I know. Well, I mean, that's the problem.
See, hey. So now all of the bitching transitions from me to Clover, because now he's going to be bitching about revolvers soon for the next year.
And shotguns.
Trust me, if I could get 5 times the revolvers we get, I would love it. I mean, we get a bunch every month, but I just don't have enough to go around, and that's a whole nother.
It's weird. Revolver, and John was talking about that earlier with the 38 special ammo being so high. And I remember about this time last year, even Clover was like, "Hey, I think revolvers might make a comeback," and I don't know why, but
metal stuff in general,
not this year,
Yeah, like metal and wood and all that fun stuff in general, man, is
metal guns
well.
Are hands down the way it's going. Like the next couple of years, is definitely gonna be metal gun dominated.
Your Bluetooth, hey, you need to tell Keith to get you better Bluetooth microphone.
I think
bro.
he's eating the microphone.
These are literally brand new bows.
Well, you got. Are you sure they're not? They're like Bose's or something.
I mean, fish or what?
Yeah, I think he meant boys.
Maybe those aren't really bows. The $3.99 bows.
Yeah, no,
those are bows, not bows.
He probably got them off Amazon Vine. Just saying.
Shut your dirty mouth.
Oh, snap! Wow. I believe you got something from Amazon Vine not too long ago.
I did. Maybe Stop needs to get Chase some new earbuds.
I guess I'll go look on there right now.
Oh my god, so terrible.
Yeah, sorry.
I've noticed apparently when it's an issue is if I sit back, if I lean back, that's when we have issues. If I sit up straight, it's fine.
Really? Oh, so they're promoting good posture. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, apparently.
There you go.
The unidirectional microphone's absolutely not unidirectional, apparently.
So we're actually lucky that the mistletoe has stayed awake this whole time. If you're leaned back in the lounge chair, we're surprised you're not snoring.
I know, it's because today was Taco Tuesday too, and I did partake.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
I'm here. I know.
All right. Anything like what's going down the line? I know you guys it's been going on for a while, but you got SHOT coming up. I know you guys in general hate SHOT, but the whole winter time is you guys got show after show after show. But is there something that? Oh, go ahead.
It's not that anybody hates SHOT. SHOT's a lot of work.
No,
anybody
I get it.
Who does SHOT as a manufacturing side, they get it. So I mean, it's cool getting to go and see everybody, and that's the best part. The worst part is all the prep that goes into going to SHOT. It's rough, and it's months of planning.
Yeah. Is there anything? It's
getting cheaper every year.
Well, is it?
Hell no.
Yeah. Is there anything that you can publicly say that that has maybe going to be the focal point or something coming for 2023 or right now that's out that you guys want to plug? I know you guys have the MC35, the P35, which I've got. The high power is awesome, and all of that. But I know you've got some 1911s that might be coming in here pretty soon as well.
Yeah, there's going to be some pretty cool stuff we'll be talking about soon. So wait till right around SHOT Show. We'll start talking about a lot more of that. We've got something that'll be going live at SHOT that's going to be real cool. So the people who are there are going to have an opportunity at it, and the people who are at home with social media are going to have an opportunity at it too. I'll leave it at that.
Are they going to, will this one possibly be at range day?
The gun will probably be at range day, depending on how fast I can get some of them.
I think I know what we're talking about, and I'm excited about this one.
But there's going to be several guns that are going to get talked about. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Several. We'll have a lot going on.
Yeah, you guys do, and there's a lot of stuff with the company going on, which is going to be amazing the next couple of years. I know there's some stuff in the works that could be awesome. Maybe different collaborations and all of that. Some different ideas on some stuff, and looking forward to it. As always, Chase, can't wait to see you and I, and maybe others if they want to. We're going to Hell's Kitchen Monday night and going to enjoy Gordon Ramsay restaurant. Cannot wait to do that, bro. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some fun stuff like that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Chase, I got a question for you.
Yo.
Is there a wooden presentation box coming out? There was something leaked on the internet today. Is that confirmed, or you can't say?
There might be a presentation gun coming. Possibly.
We'll talk to him fair.
Okay. Yes, somebody leaked it in a CZ group. Just a heads up, bud.
Oh snap!
Well, I mean,
really?
if it's the one I think it is, it's not so much a hidden secret because they're already going to start selling them soon.
Yeah, 100 years.
There's another one that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so. That gun, there is a 100th anniversary of the patent of the high power.
Yeah.
And it is an exclusive to CDNN. So to help those guys out.
Oh, really?
So if you want one of them, you got to buy it from them.
Interesting.
Really cool presentation case. It is a slick looking gun. Well, it was their idea, so I couldn't really say no. But it was cool because we had to have fun with it. So it's a very cool homage to the original, like 1935 era P35.
Yeah.
Well, it's well done.
Original 23 patent date. Yeah, it's real well done.
Yeah, I would say it was late 22, early 23 that it was patent, and then it took them another decade to get out from FN. So,
yeah.
Anyways,
Browning died, and however, I'm not going to murder.
I want to say, is this not? And I was reading on this. I want to say that the high power was the last design that he did that actually was produced. I might be wrong about that, but I read something about that. I think. He had designs that he did after the high power, but they weren't picked up for and produced. Like the high power was the last of his designs that was actually picked up and produced, which is, I think, is kind of cool. Yeah. All right, guys, been going for 2 hours and 22 minutes. Holy snap. That's for those of you that are out here live. We still got 16 people out there live. What is wrong with you? You've got serious issues in your head. For those of you watching this in replay, or by God, listening to this in podcast, and you made it this long, first of all, you are not getting your money back. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. But two, you need to go get help. Like, you need to go see someone and talk about, like, you spent 2 hours and 20 minutes listening to this shit show. But no, thank you so much for guys. If you are watching a replay or listening to a podcast, the conversation does not have to end. Utilize that comment section. Ask us questions. Ask us for anyone on the panel. I'll make sure they get those questions if you need to. We will, no, it's not Christmas this weekend. So we'll see you next week. Until then, Semper Fi.